20-plus points. That's only happened one other time in the
Reed was going to NFC Championship game. He even went to a Super Bowl.
He went to like 5 or 6.
What an NFC Championship game. They got a hell of a team. They call plays that bitch.
What up, everybody? What up? What up? Foreign Hustle. What up, man?
Oh, man, that's a name we ain't seen in a minute.
I know. Yeah, I saw him. In here. I think when we went on Sunday. Yeah, I meant to say something then. What up, Rob? Rob, I'm glad you're here with us. I know Star Wars dropped The Acolyte. Normally, Rob leave us and come back and watch the show after the fact, which is understandable. I get it. But yeah, man, we of course are here to discuss the finals. And what else we got here? I think there may have been some. I think that's it. Yeah, that's about it. All basketball, y'all. Mm-hmm. So
unfortunately,
the best time. Oh, see, I knew it, Rob. I was like, yeah, I just found out the Acolyte actually drops on at 9 p.m. on Tuesdays. Disney Plus used to drop them at 3 a.m. on Wednesday morning. So, but nevertheless, we are here to discuss the 2-0 lead in the NBA Finals by the Boston Celtics, and I think we're gonna get into some
New York Knicks?
Women's talk with the Olympics team. Mm-hmm. And Lakers. We're going to talk Lakers later.
We should talk about the obvious person that was left off the men's basketball team too.
I mean, we can broach that conversation when we get there as well. But Nick, I think will be joining us, so he should be hopping on.
So he must have good Wi-Fi in Mexico. You know, he chilling with Brum and them.
Yeah. So man, let's get into it, man. We I wish Sonny was here because Sonny is a Boston Celtics fan, and he was a little perturbed by the dismissive conversation that you guys were having last week about the Boston Celtics.
Mm-hmm. Rightfully so.
So is that right? Is it rightfully so? I don't know, but let's see. The Celtics are up 2-0 in this series. Is it over for Dallas?
No. And I want to throw my first dart over here directly across from me to Spike, where I was saying, you know, the Boston Celtics are the better team. And we said that the Boston Celtics in this matchup can win without Jason Tatum being their best player, which he has not been for the first 2 games, and they've won the first 2 games. That first game was a blowout. You know what I'm saying? I said that the first game was going to dictate a lot of what I needed to see. Boston came to play, and Boston did what they're supposed to do, what any playoff team is supposed to do, save home court. That's what they did. That second game was closer, even though, you know, there was a point in time where Boston was up a lot. They closed it, you know what I'm saying? I want to say within 6, but still lost by 18. Right? Is that the first game or the second game?
No, it was the second game. They were up by 13 late, and
And
Mavs went on a 9-0 run,
Yep, 100%.
and it was like 105-98, I think was the final score.
The problem in those games when you fall so behind, right, is you're expending so much energy to catch up. And if the other coach is a good coach, they're going to call timeout to slow up your momentum. But then now you have to have a resurgence because that other team now is focused. They know what was working, right? So they're going to come out on their own run. So do you have enough energy to withstand all of that? In the way that the Dallas Mavericks have been playing, the answer is obviously no. Mainly because it's not Luka. Luka's hurt, you know what I'm saying? But Luka is doing Luka things, 30-point triple-double. The issue right now is Kyrie Irving.
We'll get to him.
No, I know, but it's part of my synopsis of what I've seen in the first 2 games. The issue is Kyrie Irving. We saw, since he's left Boston, it's been 11 games where he's struggled mightily. And the playoffs have been no difference. Me and my brother were talking earlier this morning, and something he said about Drew Holiday that I 100% agree with. Drew Holiday is a professional defender, right? What I mean by that is he's not a defender that's trying to speed you up or to change your tempo. It's fine. Whatever you want to do, I'ma just be here. And psychologically, as an offensive player, you've did everything in your bag, and you can't shake them. When Drew senses that, then that's when he attacks defensively. That's why he's getting so many deflections on Kyrie. That's why he's so integral for them, especially in this matchup, to win a potential championship. That being said, Boston is the better team. They've looked like it, even though Jason Tatum has struggled. Now, he's struggling to score. But that second game, he had an amazing floor game. He had 8 assists in the first half. I think he finished with, what was it, 9
12.
Rebounds?
Oh, 9 rebounds.
Yeah. He almost had a
triple-double.
Exactly, a rebound short from a triple-double. So even though he's struggling, good players, great players, find other ways to affect the game. And as bad as his offensive game has looked, shot selection, missing open shots, because it's not like he's not getting open shots, he's missing open shots. He's doing the other things that win you basketball games. And I have to give him credit for that.
Is he struggling or
We'll get to Jason Tatum. Hold on, because
Okay.
I see you loading up.
I was finna. I was different.
I wouldn't be a good host if I didn't point out that FIFA said they're the better team, yet he picked the Mavs in 5.
Mm-hmm. I said 5?
You did say 5.
Okay, cool.
I said 6.
Yeah, you said 5.
Okay.
You said 6, so they got to win 4 straight from here.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you pick against the better team?
I picked against the better team because I didn't know Kristaps was going to come back and have the game of his life in the first half of the first game. Didn't expect that. I talked about how typically you have some level of rust. He didn't. I felt without the impact of Porzingis, Dallas had a better opportunity. I also felt that Kyrie, we know that he's a big moment player, and I felt just based off of everything that we've seen so far in the playoffs, he was going to be able to overcome those Celtic demons. But the first 2 games, that's not the case. So.
Yeah, I think the Mavs have a couple of matchup problems. It may be a bad matchup for them. So they got to win 4 out of 5. Spike.
I don't think that's impossible, Ken. I don't think that
The Suns did it against the Bucks.
Right. I could see it
CP3
happening,
got
but
hurt,
I'm not sure. One is because Kristoff, I don't know if he's hurt or if he's coming.
He's day to day.
Yes, it's day to day as far as.
I will rule him out for the rest of the series.
Right. So I'm not sure that they'll have that leverage to lean on because that was a heavy thing in game 1 to help them win. Now, if I'm going
18
back.
points in the first half.
Yes. And the energy. Like just the energy that he brought to the floor, and you're saying Kyrie and Luka are the best 2 players in this series. He still came and was like, nah, but y'all have to consider me. I don't know if that's going to hold up in Dallas for the rest of the games because he's hurt. So I could see Luka going off, Kyrie going off because Kyrie ain't done shit. Let's be very clear. He ain't done shit. And I don't expect that to hold up for the next 4 or 5 games in the series. I do expect him to go to Dallas, and now he starts hooping. Like at some point, he has to show up and be the Kyrie that people have been saying in the praises of throughout the playoff run. Like that has to happen.
But you know what? But here's the thing. As great as Kyrie is, as great as great basketball players can be, there's always a matchup or 2 that bother you. For whatever reason.
So what is that with him?
Drew
Holiday.
Holiday. Drew Holiday. Look at if you Google search right now, Drew Holiday, it'll say some places it'll say he's 6'3", 6'4". Some places say he's like 210 to 220. And when you look at him amongst his Boston teammates, he's like, oh, okay, he's just a normal sized point guard. Then look at him next to Kyrie, he's like, oh, you're taller than Kyrie, you're longer than Kyrie, you're stronger than Kyrie. You're just a bigger man, than Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I said the professional defender, because there's guys like Pat Bev. He's a rah-rah defender. He's trying to throw you off your pivot. He wants to get in your head. He wants to talk shit. He's gonna flop. He's an antagonist.
But you still only 6 feet and not bigger than me. You're not,
Exactly.
yeah.
So you can get got. We saw it years ago when he was calling out KD. He did his job and shut down KD one game, and then KD came back and dropped 50 and said, "Y'all know my name. I ain't got to say my name." You know what I'm saying? Drew doesn't have to rah-rah you. He's not going to talk a lot of shit. He's going to do his job. He's not going to try to move you off of your pivot, but he's just going to do it better than most people can.
I agree with that in the sense of Drew Holiday is going to show up and be the consummate professional. You're right. However, I do still believe in my pick in 6 games because I think that Kyrie, he's just better.
No, I don't disagree.
It may take him 1-2 games in the finals to realize what bag I need to get in. I'm at home now. I might be more comfortable. Whatever it needs to click for him that's going to click, I do think that game 3, game 4, he'll come out and he'll be like, okay, y'all forgot who the fuck I was. I'm Kyrie Irving. It's like you said with KD. I'm KD.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Kyrie Irving, bro. Like, yeah, you 6'4", yeah, you bigger than me, yeah, you're a great defender, but I can still go off for 30, and I'm just now realizing this bag at home in Dallas in game 3.
100%. I think Bob Meyer says something I agree with. The others always play better at home.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And Dallas's others, some of them that they rely upon, they're young. Lively looked like a deer in the headlights that first game. Second game, he was a little bit better. But they're not playing atrociously. They're being outplayed. I feel that the others need to step it up like 0.5.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even a whole nother step.
Yep.
It's literally 0.5. Just play a little bit
Give
better,
me a little bit more.
a little bit cleaner than what you've been playing. Kyrie is the one that needs to step it up like 4 steps ahead.
Facts.
Because the thing is, that first game was a blowout. It is what it is. That second game was within striking distance. And if we get just regular season Kyrie, we're potentially talking a 1-1 series right now. So when I look at all of the moving parts, the thing that I deduce the most from the Mavericks side, turnovers are one thing. We know Luka's a high turnover guy, but he's going to make the plays. He makes it up in other ways. Kyrie has to turn up because Luka is doing what Luka does. There is no matchup for him. No matter you put Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, KP, it don't matter. Luka's going to get you 30 points. So to me, the mindset that Kyrie has to have, because in that first game, he was extremely passive. The second game, you could tell that Drew Holiday was in his mind. Like, I'm not like, and I'm obviously talking as Kyrie, like he's not doing Kyrie Irving type of things. Like he's almost second guessing himself, right? So to me, Kyrie's mentality has to be when I'm in the game with Luka, my goal has to be 50 points. I got to go get 50. I don't give a damn who the hell you double tier, triple tier. Like, I'm that guy. He got to go get buckets. When they, give Luka a break and it's Kyrie in there by himself, you got to assume the Luka role. I got to get everybody else involved because in that second game, I can't remember the minute time, but Luka was gassed. Luka, when they were making that run, Luka shot a shot, hit front rim, and then he did a step back, which he was open, and he hit front rim. Me and my brother looked at each other, and we were like, oh, yeah, he got it. Jason Kidd took him out. Kyrie was already in. The very first play, he came to the basket, pump fake, and then gave Isaiah Likely a little pocket pass. He got a dunk, or it could have been P.J. Washington, I'm not sure. But when it's just Kyrie, be passive. Get other people involved. Be aggressive, but get other people involved. When you playing with Luka, bro, go get buckets because that's the thing.
Might not be enough.
I think it will be.
Not enough.
Might not be enough.
I think it is.
I
don't think Kyrie can't be the sole solution to the Mavs' problems. Let's look at. I mean, first of all, Tatum is shooting horrendously.
He is,
but
he has all playoffs.
I know, but not this
all
poorly.
Playoffs. He's been under 30% from the 3 all playoffs.
Well, I said just horrendously, period. I didn't point out from the 3. But that game, too, was theirs to take. Mm-hmm. And Luka came out on fire, 23 in the first half, 9 points in the second half, 1 for 4, I think, from the dunker spot or whatever, as they like to call it. He ran out of gas. Mm-hmm. The reason why that game was so close was one thing. 3-point shooter from the Celtics. They shot terribly from the 3-point line, but they got clean looks. They hit those. This game's not even close. Dallas did everything that they ultimately wanted to do. And the only reason they were in that game or even close was because Boston they didn't hit 3-point shots.
But you know what aided that though, Ken? So a lot of things can be true. What aided that? Look at Dallas's turnovers that game. They had a lot of unforced errors, because it's one thing to miss a shot, it's one thing to have a turnover while you're being aggressive, it's another thing to make a boneheaded play. Like Luka had the one that was behind the back. Luka also had the other one where he just kind of threw and thought like the player was ready for it, but he wasn't.
I think it was the cleaver.
Yes. And also the other thing too is, Ken, that Dallas team is looking for Luka to save them. Look at when they get the ball, Ken. They're being passive. They get the ball, like, okay, well, where's Luka? Okay, let me give it to Luka. Let me go run over here and get to my spot. Instead of being aggressive, and I'm talking across the board, Ken, including Kyrie. They're all looking for Luka to save them. And it's like, look, it's a team. Luka gonna do it. Like, you have to be aggressive. Like, I do like when they went to, was it Lively? Or was it Washington? One of the other big guy. Gafford. They went to him, I want to say it was early in the second quarter or third quarter, something like that. Back-to-back possessions, hook shots. You know,
yeah, the Celtics basically gave that up, though.
They gave that up, but then exploit that matchup if that's what
they're not going to. They'll give that matchup up for a short burst. But
okay, so,
yeah, it's not. They won't always be there.
Of course, Ken. When we talk about adjustments, it's not going to be for 48 minutes. It's take advantage of it if that's what they're giving to you. We always talk about take what the defense gives you. If that's what the defense is willing to give up, then take advantage of it until they make the change. And then obviously you make a change. But the overarching thing, Ken, is this, in my opinion. Dallas is not aggressive enough, and Kyrie especially, because Kyrie, we know what type of player he is. He is a two guard stuck in a point guard's body. He is a bucket getter of the highest degree. And he has not gotten buckets.
Well, Kyrie's been taking shots. They've been clean looks. He's been missing them too.
He's missed.
Like he's
but he's not attacking the basket.
He's got to the rim a few times.
But he's not doing the Kyrie shit that we expect him
Maybe
to do.
because Boston is not allowing him to do the Kyrie.
No. Kyrie is one of the few people that don't matter what you do.
I was about to say,
it's looking like it's mattering in the series.
It ain't about allowing when you're talking about Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving has to understand that I need to be the second best player in this series in order for us to win.
100.
And it don't look like that he's processing that.
He knows that. He's acknowledged it.
But he ain't doing it, though.
He's
not,
trying
like
to
you
do
saying,
it. It's probably
like
just
you're saying,
not.
he's shooting shots, and yeah, you getting open shots, but I don't see you getting to the rim. I don't see the amazing finishing abilities that LeBron James called you a wizard for in the previous 3 rounds. He not doing that.
I think I tried to point this out last week. Y'all got to understand the shit Anthony Edwards said put a battery in Kyrie's backpack. The Kyrie you guys are seeing was the Kyrie I saw at times in the first 2 series.
And playing against the Celtics should be all the battery that he needs.
Yeah.
How
And the record,
what do you
his
mean
record
how?
against them,
Thank
his
you.
record
Speak
against
the
them is
record.
like 0-11 over the
Exactly.
last couple of games.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So Ken, that should be okay. First of all, Ken, you know that when you have a hurdle in front of you that you have not for whatever reason been able to overcome, you're gonna go harder. He hasn't gone harder. It looks like
It don't
Ken,
look like it.
It don't look like it. Ken, he doesn't look aggressive. He is extremely passive in this series through the first 2 games.
And
he's
even-
not being aggressive.
Even in the post-game commentary, he was like, "Oh well, it is what it is. Like we happen to be here. Like, bro, what are you talking about?" After game 1, he was basically on some "I'm happy to be here" type shit. That's not what you want to hear from a person who we expect to be the second best player in this series.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like he's melded in, and not only from the talking, but from how he's playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's playing like, oh, like fuck it. We made it to the finals. We weren't supposed to make it here. It's cool, and that's not going to work.
I think there are other issues that Dallas has to contend with. One, they're hunting Luka on defense all the time. So Luka has to play. He has to guard somebody. Same thing with Kyrie. They go attack Kyrie as well. Jaylen Brown and Tatum, even though Tatum, isn't scoring efficiently, they still attacking him. I mean, there have been plenty of times they're coming up the court and they get the switch, and Luka's having to guard Jaylen Brown. You know, and he's done serviceable jobs at times, but by the time the fourth quarter comes, having to spend energy on defense is a problem for him. I also think that the Celtics are able to keep more players out on the perimeter as well, and that impacts their bigs. And we have Kleber in the game who's hesitant to take shots because he may still be hurt or is not confident enough or just hasn't played enough. Then he's an issue. Who do you go to? You go to Tim Hardaway Jr., who can't guard anything. You go to Exum, who hasn't been shooting well. I think Kidd really has some matchup problems in this series.
He does, Ken, but it's all about adjustments. Matchups are one thing, and they dictate a series. And again, Boston has the best top to bottom roster in the NBA. You look at every single roster. The only one that I could say can rival them is OKC from top to bottom. But OKC is a whole bunch of unproven guys. Dallas, Boston, we know. Jason Tatum is how old? 25, 26? He's been to 6 conference finals. You've been to 2 finals. Jaylen Brown, damn near the same thing. We know Drew Holiday is a champion. We know Al Horford been all over the world in all type of playoff series. Like we know that the core of who they are has experience. We know that the core of Dallas does not.
Yeah, it's Kyrie and Luka's European experience.
You're right. And the reason that I picked the Mavericks in 6 is because the experience that you're speaking to, Kyrie's supposed to bring it to the table.
True.
You're supposed to be the person, Jaylen Brown is good. Yeah, Jason Tatum is good. Yeah, Drew Holiday is good. All of these people are good, but they're not better than Kyrie Irving in his bag, though. And we've seen him in his bag throughout these playoffs, but now it looks like what you're saying is it's so passive. It's so... Oh, okay, I'm just happy to be here.
But here's the thing, though.
And it's not making sense.
But looking at the history of Kyrie Irving, right, because I contend that this is the greatest finals ever. When Cleveland came back down 3-1, those first couple of games, Kyrie wasn't balling like the last 4. The first couple of ones, it was like, okay, well, Bron is here to play.
Would you expect the same thing from him in this series?
I expect that anytime Kyrie is in a big matchup, that he has the percentages for him. Every time that we've seen him in a big spotlight, a big matchup, a big anything, he rises to the occasion. I put money
When
on
have we seen that in the last couple of years? Since we're talking about Kyrie.
We haven't.
We only saw it against Minnesota because Anthony Edwards said it.
It hasn't been there.
And
I thought that's the reason that I picked him in 6, because I thought that would be the Kyrie that we would get. I thought that he would be the person that's out there trying to prove a point, in the sense of, yeah, Luka's that dude. I've had the press conferences in the sense of I'm no longer trying to be the man. I'm cool with the role that I am in. I wish I had done this with LeBron, but I didn't. Now I'm in this position, and I want this to work. I want to win championships, being the role that I've been assigned to is Kyrie Irving. And it's like, now that he's there in the final, it's like that role doesn't mean anything to you now.
I feel, but to answer your question, Ken, look at all season. All season, Kyrie has answered the call. Why? Because the previous season, when he got traded from Brooklyn to Dallas, everybody, including us, questioned, is it going to work? Is Kyrie and Luka going to work?
Absolutely.
It wasn't working. They had to go get other guys to make
No,
it work.
100%. But throughout the course of the season, Kyrie Irving was balling. I came here.
Kyrie Irving was playing like Kyrie Irving.
But is he playing like Kyrie Irving in the finals?
No.
Yes or no?
Okay.
So that's all I ask. If, like I said earlier, if we get regular season Kyrie, game 2, they might have won that.
Would have.
Why can't we give credit to what the Celtics are doing?
I did give credit. Did I not just say Drew Holiday is a professional defender?
But y'all keep saying that. Oh, Kyrie just got to do Kyrie things. I think the Celtics are taking those things away.
I'll take that, Ken, because I still think that if Kyrie Irving does what he needs to do, the Celtics are not a good enough team to beat them.
Okay, see,
it just seems like he not.
That's the asinine stuff that he's saying. And that's the point that I disagree, because they have the best team.
I got the best 2 players on the court.
But Boston has a better team.
That don't matter.
That does. This is a team sport. I told you that last week.
But boy, when I talk about flip flopping,
who's flip flopping?
Y'all sound.
I'm saying on my shit. I'm saying. Listen, if Kyrie had showed up, it would be 1-1 right now, and we would be having a much different conversation. Absolutely,
I don't think it would be.
Look,
Kyrie
let me ask you this.
though.
A great offense always beats a great defense. It doesn't matter if you're in my grill. If I shoot and it goes in, the defender always has to tip his hat.
And there's no one in the league that can check Kyrie the way that he needs to be.
Drew
checked.
Holiday.
Okay, well, what about all of these other
at the
guys
numbers.
on the team that was so important against Minnesota? These guys, Derrick Jones Jr., P.J. Washington, all these guys, they were shooting lights out against Minnesota. They were motivated against Minnesota. You would think, but at some point, that shit has to end.
So Ken, again, when I was saying passive, right? There was a play where that crazy pass that Luka had when he went baseline and he
To Exum.
Yeah,
yes,
that was fire.
Exum gotta be cutting. He see his guy
Running
leave
towards
him.
the
He got a
rim.
wide open three.
He got to run towards the rim.
Dante Exum, Ken, have you looked at that man's shooting percentage?
I understand. I know. That's why
Okay,
the kid don't know if he can play him or not, but he still hit the three.
Okay, but Ken, but my point is, do you trust in winning a series with Dante Exum hitting threes? Do you trust winning a series with Derrick? What's his last name?
Derrick Jones Jr.
Derrick Jones Jr. hitting threes. No, there's certain guys, Ken, that have a green light, or you should shoot it, and there's certain guys, go attack the basket. Derrick Jones Jr., go attack. Bro, this man has one of the biggest verticals in the game.
Yeah, but he's been shooting I think he's worked on his corner three.
I understand all that, but it ain't falling, right? Just like I gave Jason Tatum credit. Your jumper is not falling. You know what he did in that second half of the second game? He started going to the basket. And what did the refs started to do? They had to call fouls. He hit 1 3. On that right side of the court, he hit 1 3, then he missed 2 more. He's still struggling, but you know why he hit that 1 3? Because he got some free throws, Ken. So what I'm saying to Derrick Jones, what I'm saying to all the Dante Exums of the world on that Dallas team that's playing passive and looking for Luka, go get a fucking layup.
Are they playing passive, or are the Celtics defense
No, they're playing passive.
just better than the Minnesota Timberwolves defense was? They're running them off the three-point line. They're not really giving them those shots.
Two things can be true. Boston is playing a better defense than Minnesota is, but at the same time, there are certain guys, when I'm watching this Dallas Mavericks team, that they have open lanes to the basket, and guess what? They're shooting the ball. You don't shoot the ball when you're struggling. Go get easy buckets.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know if they've done a lot of cutting like that. I think Luka hit him with a lot of threes.
Okay, so what we need to do is, game 3 is when? Tomorrow?
It's Wednesday.
Tomorrow.
We'll be here.
I know.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to recall whether or not they were doing that at the pace that you're saying that.
Adjustments, Ken.
Minnesota wasn't? You saying Minnesota wasn't?
Say Boston.
No, the Mavs. A lot of, if I recall, I think a lot of their shots. Anyway, it doesn't.
They're like
matter.
3 from 31 and from 3.
Who? Boston?
No,
Dallas?
Minnesota. Dallas. I keep saying Minnesota. Dallas is shooting the worst 3-point percentage that we've ever seen from a finals team. So like that has a lot to do with it too. Like you said, they're running them off the 3-point line, but still, I don't look at Boston as just a super team as to where they're going to inflict their will and I can't do anything.
I tried.
That's crazy.
And again, you don't win 64 games if you don't do that. If you're not capable of doing that. Remember, there was a point in the game I said Jason Kidd called a very smart timeout. Boston, it didn't look like they were going on a run, and he called the timeout. They were all up like 6 or 5 or whatever happened. And I was like, that was a smart timeout because the Celtics hit you with runs that you don't know are happening until it's over with. That's what happened in game 1. They just started hitting all these threes. Next thing you know, they're down 29 points. And next thing you know, they got it within 8, and then they hit them with a 14-0 run by a timeout. In this game, who saw them all of a sudden pushing this game to 13 out of the blue? It happens. They don't look super dominant, but they have a lot of double-digit wins. And that's not by accident.
If you look at the Boston Celtics numbers per this season, they are one of the greatest teams of all time per the numbers.
They got to win.
Spike. I understand all that, Spike, but we have to look at how they got here. That's essentially what Ken is talking about. And he's 100% right. You don't win 60-plus games if you're not a juggernaut on defense or a juggernaut on offense or you're balanced.
And their offense is one of the highest rated offensive efficiencies.
You guys are right from a stats standpoint. But when you start talking about the greatest teams you ever seen, you're not going to mention this team.
No, 100%.
The stats will tell you that though.
No, but
that team
but
belongs.
but can the eye
when you
test
talking
don't
about
tell
the
you that?
94, 95 Rockets, when you talking about the whatever
even
Warriors that
the
went
73
72 and
and
10,
9.
the Bulls that went 72 and 10, you're not going to mention this team with those teams.
No, but you know, and here's the thing. Nick Wright had the perfect analogy or the saying for it. You're 100% right, Spike. You're not going to compare this team to those teams. But if this team starts a Boston run, a Boston
They gotta win
dynasty,
more than one championship.
100%.
True.
Then we look at this team like, well, damn, we underrated this team, right? Yeah. So this is going to be one of those things that we're going to remember it in time. But this season, to the eye test, no. We look at the comp in the East. You know what I'm saying? It was weak. Like I said, going into this season, we all said Boston had to win a championship. Yeah. We didn't know if Dallas was even going to conference finals.
Nobody picked them.
Nobody picked them. Nobody picked Minnesota to make it to the conference finals. Everybody was on Denver. Everybody was on the Lakers, right? Especially after the Lakers won the in-season tournament. At the end of the day, this is what Boston was built to do. Whether Jason Tatum has a great game or not, whether Jason Tatum is our best player or not, we have enough horses to carry us to a championship.
You're right. And I think the point is you still, even after everything that you said, you still wouldn't pick them to win the series out. Am I right or wrong?
Well, he didn't pick them to win.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't pick.
Like,
but here's the thing. But
like
hold on.
you're
Pause
right.
right there, though. Pause right there.
On paper, just real quick, on paper, it looks great. And what you're saying is absolutely true. But the reason that Boston, this team is getting flagged, because I could still see Dallas winning 4 straight. And then that takes away from them being that great team that
Spike,
everybody's going to talk about them in if they wins.
But it's highly unlikely. Look at the numbers of series.
Is it?
Yes,
The
highly
Suns
unlikely.
shouldn't have lost the series they lost. I think Chris Paul got hurt in that series, and that helped them in the later games. Kristaps getting hurt could help turn this tide in the series.
Spike, when
But
you
they
go
played
down 2-0,
Dallas
the
won
numbers
4
are
straight
against
before,
you.
you wouldn't be shocked.
Spike, when
Am
you
I right
go
or
down,
wrong?
when you go
just
down,
real quick before you say that, if Dallas won 4 straight and Kyrie went off and Luka was going off, you wouldn't be shocked, right?
I would be shocked 4 straight. 4 straight is going to be difficult to do against this team. If Dallas wins, it'll be in 7. They're not just going to riddle off 4 straight. The thing, so a couple of things, Spike. First off, when you're up 2-0, the numbers are overwhelmingly in the favor of the team that's up 2-0. That's number one, right? But at the same time, it's not this grandiose thing because the home team did what they're supposed to do. Take care of home court. The series does not start until somebody wins on somebody else's court, right? So right now, am I worried for Dallas? No, I'm not worried.
Why not?
That speaks to my point, though.
But
like
hold
you're
on,
talking
no,
about
no.
the greatness of this Boston team, bro. And you're saying if Dallas goes and win the next 2 games straight,
because
you
Spike,
still
at the
believe
end
that
of the
Dallas
day,
can win the series.
Spike, at the end of the day, what do you play for home court advantage for? What do you play for number 1 seed for?
You want home court advantage.
Why?
You have the advantage.
For what?
Home court.
To do what?
Win.
What?
The championship.
Exactly. All they have to do is win the home games.
Right. So
if they lose every game in Dallas, does it matter?
my
But
point.
why are y'all confident that? Well, why are you confident? Or it was something you said. I can't remember what it was. You do know that Boston hasn't lost on the road in the playoffs yet?
So look, Ken, this is why I'm still confident with Dallas. And what I said was,
And Nick ain't here, man.
yeah, Nick ain't here. Man.
Right. We can take
Got me looking crazy.
So look, Boston did what they were supposed to do. Did they do it in dominating fashion? In the first game, yes. But it was an aberration by Kristaps. Nobody foresaw that.
You
Come on,
still
bro.
believe in Kyrie Irving, FIFO?
Look,
Just say it.
look. I believe.
Y'all
in
got to
Kyrie.
get off Kyrie, bro.
Ken, he's
Bro,
that dude.
y'all look at the games. Look at the matchup.
It's only 2 games.
If he
Bro.
averaged 30 a game for the next 4 games, I wouldn't be shocked.
I don't know if it matters.
does matter.
Luka. First of all, Luka is. I think what I heard, he's given like 13 blowbys and something like that. He
Yeah.
can't stay in front of
It's-
anybody. Same thing with Kyrie.
Okay.
And when they having to spread the bigs out, and Gafford can't be in there, and fucking Lively can't be in there, or he gets in foul trouble. The rim is wide open.
So a couple of things, Ken. The conversation keeps moving, so I can't make all of my points. However, in terms of the adjustments that Jason Kidd needs to make, there's a couple adjustments that I would make. Number one, there's certain guys that I would say, go get a bucket. Go put pressure on the referee to make a call or get a layup or a dunk. That's Derrick Jones.
Who are those guys? Okay.
Derrick Jones.
Derrick Jones. And how is he going to do that?
This is why I'm saying we need to watch the game together, with everybody watching here and with y'all here in person too. Because there are many a times that I pointed out in that second game that they had layups and they settled for jump shots. You're not hitting jump shots. Go get the bucket. Because we know that Luka and Kyrie have gravity, right? When you know that Luka is penetrating, you need to cut and get the easier bucket. Don't start shooting until you hit one or two.
So you're saying about cutting to the rim?
Yes.
Because I was he trying to dribble past anybody. I don't know if that's.
Did I say that?
No, that's why I asked you why.
Exactly.
Because I wanted to know what the specifics was.
And that's a Jason Kidd thing.
That's a Jason Kidd thing. Another adjustment on the defensive side, play more zone. Play more zone. Boston is already shooting horribly. What does zone do? Zone makes you want to shoot.
How long do you think they will continue to shoot at this terrible pace when they're one of the highest offensive rated teams in the league?
True, but all playoffs, first and foremost, Jason Tatum has struggled from the three, from the field, from everywhere, all playoffs long. Go look at the numbers. And it's just obviously highlighted even more because this is the final series. Jason Tatum is struggling. That whole team is struggling. My thing is this. I don't know, Ken, but while they down, kick them.
I don't know if the whole team is struggling.
Who's hitting threes? Derek White not hitting threes.
Tatum is struggling. I think that's the biggest point into what you're saying. Like, if Tatum is struggling, I fully believe that going into Dallas in the game 3, that Kyrie will have a game, Luka will have a game where they will win that game. And then we're going into game 4 after they won game 3. Like, it's very feasible that it will be 2-2 after 4 games.
Very.
And now after it's 2-2, I'm now leaning back to Dallas got the best 2 players on the court.
They had them in the best 2 players in the court in the first 2 games.
Yeah, but Ken, it seems like they weren't motivated to be the best 2 players.
Whoa, hold on. What did you say?
They weren't. Like you spoke with Kyrie.
Luka is the best player on the court.
Facts.
Both games.
Facts.
Okay.
And Kyrie can be the second best player.
But he hasn't.
Right.
Why?
However, you wouldn't be shocked.
Well, why?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
said
What do your eyes tell you?
You said he's not going to
I said what I said. What do your eyes
You're
tell
saying
you?
he's passive, and I'm saying it's Boston defense.
I'm saying he's passive. I don't think it's Boston's defense.
To me,
and
it's
that's
both.
what we differ, Ken. And that's why I think that Dallas can still steal this series because it's not Boston. Boston ain't doing nothing great. It's just that Kyrie ain't showing up and being Kyrie. And I still think that he can be able to do that, especially if I'm going home and I got the home court advantage.
This is why I disagree with you, Spike. Look, as great as Kyrie is, bro, Drew Holiday is a crazy matchup for him.
You're giving Drew Holiday a lot.
Bro, you're not giving him enough credit.
Did he not make an all-team NBA?
You're not giving him enough credit, bro.
He did not. He may have made an all
defensive team.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking
all
about.
NBA.
He is a professional defender.
He's really good at defending, but Kyrie is better at scoring.
We haven't seen it,
and we
you
just
know why?
haven't
Because
seen
of Drew
it.
Holiday.
I would submit to that, kid.
Bruh.
We just haven't seen it.
And it may be because Drew Holiday and Derek White.
I'm telling y'all, if we come in here after the next 2 games and they've won and Kyrie got 30 plus per game, y'all are not going to be shocked, right?
I expect Dallas to. I don't know, man. Boston has been really good on the road. They play better on the road than they have at home.
Drew Holiday and Derek White both made the all-defensive team. And your hold on, no, because wait, Spike, just hold.
We talking about
everything.
Kyrie
Spike,
Irving, though.
Spike, hold everything that you're about to spew out of that mouth of yours, please, sir. Just hold it real quick. You're talking about 4 out of the 5 starters. 2 of them are great both ways. Pause. And then the other 2 are all defensive players.
Right.
Do you understand what that means for Kyrie?
Yes.
So Ken, this is where I agree with Spike. Kyrie is one of the few players in NBA history that can and will get his shot off against damn near any defense. Damn near, right? Now, where I agree with you is Drew Holiday is a crazy matchup, And then they have tremendous size and athletic ability all across the floor, which is bothering Kyrie, which is making him passive. When you are one of those talents, this is again where I agree with you, you have to be able to overcome that. Yes. If you go to Boston and have 2 bad games, it is what it is. What do I always say about all-star type players in a 7-game series? You got to show up for 4 to 5 games. Kyrie's still on pace to show up for 4 to 5 games. That's what Dallas is going to need. Right. Now, here's the thing. Luka is human, and Luka is hurt, and Luka is gassed. Superstar players need to show up 6 to 7 games. What happens when Luka don't have a good game?
I'm expecting Kyrie to have a good game.
That's not going to be enough. And that therein lies the issue.
Okay, now that I agree with. You're right. If you're telling me that Kyrie showed up and Luka just is gassed out, I'm willing to concede that, yeah, it could be a sweep or it could be 5 because no one else, Dallas don't got enough horses. I agree with that. But if you're talking about me expecting Kyrie to come up and show his ass and Luka to still be the superstar, I ain't bringing the injury into play or anything like that. I'm saying Luka is still going to do the things that he's going to do. I just expect more out of Kyrie, and I expect them to win the next 2 games. I don't think that that's far-fetched.
Okay, look. It's not far-fetched, but it's not going to be where you come in with the same game plan that you have for the first 2 games and be like, I need y'all to play harder.
Jason Kidd can make some adjustments.
There's some adjustments that need to be made.
He's a better coach than Mazzulla.
Yeah. And I still stand by that.
Good luck on that.
Mazzulla is good.
He's good.
He's not Ime. Yeah. But we'll see. Because, again, this Boston team, this needs to be the start of a run. But that's a whole nother conversation. We're talking about this particular series. In my opinion, what Jason Kidd needs to do is that he needs to get easy buckets for the others.
Agreed.
Because shooting shots, when you're not hitting, ain't going to win you a damn thing.
Agreed.
So you got to get easier buckets. You got to get to the free throw line a bit more. And when I say that, I mean to Luka and to Kyrie. Kyrie more so because Kyrie gets all the way to the bucket. Luka is an intermediate guy. He gonna stop around that mid range.
Because Luka missed like 4 of them.
He got made, but we also know that that's one of his Achilles heels in this game. That's a hole in his game. He's a mid 70s.
Wow, I haven't heard a lot about that. I wonder why. If it was a LeBron, bro, this would be a talking point every day. Well, let's okay. So
one last thing, Ken. I think that Dallas has the best coach and the best 2 players in this series. So after the next 2 games, there's going to be a completely different conversation being had. Okay. I firmly believe that.
All right. Well, we'll see.
And I'll hop on
home teams
post game stuff too.
Home teams play better. But Boston has played better on the road this postseason than they have at home. And that's something to think about. Y'all can question the level of competition if you want, but it is what it is. Speaking of competition, let's talk about Jason Kidd, who tried to throw a missive into the locker room that did not work when he called Jaylen Brown the best player on the Celtics. When you guys heard those comments, did you think he was crazy for saying it?
Nah, I think he's just calling a spade a spade. In this series, Jaylen Brown has been the best player on the court.
He didn't say series though.
I understand.
Okay.
I'm just saying for this playoff run, Jaylen Brown has been the better player on the team.
Is he the best player on the Celtics?
No. Okay. So me and Nigel, we were talking this morning. Well, me, Nigel, and my brother, we were talking this morning, and we came up with some terminology that may confuse people, but I'm here to clarify it. Sometimes you could be the best, but you're not better, right? And what I mean by that, the best player on the Boston Celtics is Jason Tatum. 6'9", 6'10", strong, handle, got a bag, plays offense, defense, has a lot of intangible stuff that you just can't coach that is God-given.
Jaylen Brown can do everything that he can do.
Jaylen Brown right now is better, but he's not the best. He's better. Why? Because the numbers say so. He's playing better. He's in all facets of the game, but he's not a better player than Jason Tatum.
I don't see how that correlates. Like he like I get what you're saying. Tatum is supposed to be better, but he's not. Like the numbers don't say that. The
Regular
play on
season
the
he
court
was.
don't say that.
Regular season
Was he?
Yeah. Look at the numbers, bruh. Look at the numbers.
What numbers? Like
All numbers.
points per
Efficiency,
game. Like, what
point
are we
per
talking
game,
about?
rebounding, defensive rating. Look at all of the numbers.
Jaylen Brown's the best player on that team.
No, he's not. He's playing better right now, but he's not the best player. Jason Tatum is the best player. He's just not playing better. Jaylen Brown is playing better than Jason Tatum, but he's not better than Jason Tatum. He's just playing better than Jason Tatum.
I think I get confused when you're saying he's not better than Jason Tatum. He's playing better from a career standpoint.
What does Jaylen Brown do better than Jason Tatum?
It seems like everything right now.
What does he do better?
Get buckets. he get buckets better than Jason Tatum because
we're
looking at Jason Tatum who had 2 finals games where he had 14 and maybe 16 points.
Okay, and look in those same games or in those same series, Jaylen Brown had those same type of discrepancies. What I'm saying, Spike, is that when you're comparing the skill sets of both of those players, right? The physical attributes, Jason Tatum is already above Jaylen Brown. Right? Physical attributes.
See, that's why I disagree with you. I don't see why you're saying it.
So Jason
They're
Tatum,
the same size.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Jason Tatum is taller. He's longer.
He don't play like a big man though, bro.
Because he plays like a wing
guy. It don't
guy.
matter if he got 3-4 inches on him. He don't play like a big man. He plays like
Spike.
Jaylen Brown plays, which is what makes Jaylen
physically,
which is what gives Jaylen Brown the case to be just as good as him.
But physically, he has an advantage. Yes or no? God given.
No. You don't use the advantage.
I'm done. I can't have this conversation
no more.
You know
what I'm saying is the truth because
no.
It's just like you telling me that
I'm giving you facts. You're giving me hyperbole.
This is the exact same thing with someone saying, "Oh, Cat is 7 feet tall. He has the advantage because he's 7 feet tall." But he don't play like a big man. If I'm not posting niggas up and I'm 7 feet tall, why does it matter if I'm 7 feet tall? It don't matter that Jason Tatum is 6 feet 10. If he's taking fadeaway jump shots and leaning,
he can hit those.
He can.
That's part of his bag.
He can hit them, but Jaylen Brown can hit them too.
But hit again, Spike.
So again,
Spike,
if you got a couple inches on me, pause. It don't matter because you don't use them.
Spike. First of all, Jason Tatum does use them.
How?
He does.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. So physically,
Man,
from all of the measurables, weight, height, size, length, pause. Jason Tatum got Jaylen Brown beat, right? So now, if we're looking at the skill set attributes, speed, running, jumping,
just the same. That's the problem that
Jaylen Brown might be a little bit more athletic, but
that's the problem they've had all of this time.
Dribbling, passing, y'all two guys, defense.
They're saying
Spike.
They're saying y'all two guys are the same. That's the reason we don't
similar skill set.
Complements each other, but Spike, I think
they're not complementary.
Whether they found a way to complement each other.
Drew Holiday, that's the answer.
Okay, I think when you're thinking about the two, you're caught up in the mentality and not the game.
Yes. We're only talking the game. What they're able to do and what they're not able to do. I understand that, but that's a checkbox for Jaylen Brown. I give you that. And which is why that one difference has him playing better right now. But he's not the best player.
And the only thing is Tatum is just shooting awfully from the field. You know, he just had a terrible shooting.
He's been passive like Kyrie.
But he's also
that last game he wasn't passive. He just wasn't.
He just wasn't hitting. He missed 2 or 3 layups that he normally hits. I've seen him hit those pretty consistently on blowouts against Dallas. He's missing the 3, which I've seen him hit the 3s that he's taken fairly consistently. Some of the jumpers he's taken, I've seen him hit fairly. He's just having an off game right now. Mm-hmm. But he's able to do every other thing. Those 12 assists, people talk about Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday was 6 or 7 from the field, I think around in the dunker spot, off a Tatum assist. Off of Tatum driving to the basket and kicking it to Drew Holiday on some of those cuts.
And that's why I say he had a great floor game. And that's what great players do. If I can't affect the game in the main way of scoring, I have to go get rebounds. I got to go get assists. I got to go play defense.
He's the leading rebounder on the Celtics, I think.
So Spike, what I'm telling you is this. Jaylen Brown is playing better. He's playing the best right now on that Boston Celtics team. But when we remove recency bias, when we remove all of that type of stuff, and we're breaking down player for player, what is your skill set? What are your attributes? What are this? What is that? Jason Tatum checks way more boxes than Jaylen Brown. Not just because of that.
The physical?
He has better handle. He has a better jumper. He has better post-up game.
But that doesn't correlate to him being better on the floor. So that's
How does it not when
that's
he
what
does
I'm
those
struggling
things
with
better?
What you guys are saying. You guys are saying absolutely right things. Yes, Tatum is doing all of this. He's good. He's really good. But I don't see that correlate on the floor to him being a better player than Jaylen Brown. Like Jaylen Brown, like
Where do you don't see it at?
Because I'm more scared if I'm an opposing coach. If I'm Jason Kidd, I come out and say that because the person that puts fear in my heart is Brown because of the way that he plays. Y'all are saying that he has these attributes.
Go ahead.
He has these attributes and he does all of these things, but it doesn't scare me if I'm a coach of the Mavericks.
Who is Jason Kidd double teaming on the court?
Brown.
He is not.
No, he's not. No,
Jason Tatum are receiving the double teams.
Exactly.
Because I know that will stop him.
I got two things to add to that. On the scouting report, who's number one on the Boston scouting report?
It's going to
Thank
be
you.
Jason Tatum.
That's that.
It's because he light skinned.
And then here's the other point, Ken. He's saying, and I agree, Jaylen Brown is playing better. And they're up 2-0.
He scares
hold
me
on,
more
now,
if
come
I'm a
on
coach.
now, Spike, let me talk. No, I'll let you
scares
talk.
you more. You
I
coach
let you
basketball.
Talk.
You
I
coach.
let you talk, though.
Okay.
Ken shut everything that you said down by saying on that scouting report, Jason Tatum's number one, Jason Kidd is double teaming him.
Mm-hmm.
The Boston Celtics have 2 home wins with their best player struggling. If he ain't struggled, we're talking 2 blowouts by 30 plus. If Jason Tatum got 30 points, 28 plus points in both of those games, we're talking damn near a 30-point blowout in both of these games. So Spike, just understand that Jason Tatum right now is struggling. Yes. And I've also called him out in big moments to not rise to the level of that you have.
Yeah, that was my other point. This ain't the first time this has happened.
100%.
And he doesn't have to on this thing.
Exactly. Right now, he don't have to. And it's not a physical thing. It's a mental thing. Now, he's struggling. But what did I say when I talked about this? He's having a great floor game. Great players find other ways to affect the game. And that's what he's doing. And because he has so many horses on this squad, now here's the thing. KP not going to be the same. He gave you the one. What I say about championship role players, they show up one game. He just happened to show up in the very first half. It is what it is. You got the KP game out the way. Jason Tatum at some point has to be one of the key reasons why they win the game. You know what I'm saying? He did what he had to do to make sure that they won the second game.
Right? That hasn't happened.
He hasn't stepped up in all facets of the game. And what I primarily mean is scoring.
He hasn't been the reason they won any game.
100%. Okay. But he's contributed in every game, which is, that means that he is in tune with what needs to happen.
And he's also guarding the centers, I believe, as well.
Yeah, he's switching on everything. But it's, again, that's...
Which may be impacting his offense.
No. The only reason why I'm not going to shoot him that bell is because he struggled all playoffs. So he's been struggling. So it's just a struggle. Yeah, people go through it.
So I just want to make sure I understand, because y'all are shooting a lot of bail.
We not calling it how it is.
FIFO. Going into next year, if you're a GM and you had to pick between Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, you're taking Tatum.
They have always picked Tatum.
Tatum's the better basketball player.
It doesn't make sense. You're saying they've always picked Tatum, but it's not because.
If they had to make the choice, but they've actually
spoken about the mentality. And this is not the first time we've seen him not show up for big games, big series. Like, he is supposed to be the guy, like Kobe trained this dude. Like, we expect him to have the Mamba mentality. I'm seeing Jaylen Brown do that. If I need a number one for a team that's not the Boston Celtics, and you tell me, hey, pick between these two guys, I'm taking Brown.
Spike,
because he has the mentality.
Need I remind you that Jaylen Brown failed in the playoffs?
He has.
In the Eastern Conference.
Jaylen Brown but Tatum has.
And Tatum played, and Jason Tatum played better.
Nah, he played decently, Ken.
I don't
decently.
think so, because I think he put up 50 points in a Game 7 loss. I didn't see Jaylen Brown do that.
There's never been a point where you was like, man, Jason Tatum came up and he showed his ass. He's the number one player. I don't think he's ever done that.
Well, how do you get 50 points then?
When
if you don't show,
when has he done that
off?
in an important game?
You tripping? Look, he's had big playoff games. He just for me. We know he's a superstar.
He
player.
disappeared the whole finals.
Spike.
You saying he had big playoff games? Yeah, that's cool for round 1, 2, and 3. We're talking about superstars though. We ain't talking about like the random nigga that can get you to round 2 or round.
So you're
3.
calling Jason Tatum a random nigga now?
Yes.
See, it's Spike.
That's what I'm doing.
That's how you lose credibility right there by saying asinine shit like that.
FIFO, when has he not been a random nigga though? That's
So
what
he's
that's
a
all
random?
I'm saying. Yes. He's
So
a random
so
nigga.
he's talking an all NBA performer is a random nigga.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Because when has he showed up and
Where
showed
Nick
out?
at?
When has he showed up?
Let me talk to somebody else.
FIFO,
Like, what
when
the
has he
fuck is going
showed
on?
up and been like, damn, that's that dude? We seen Anthony Edwards do it. We seen all of
And
these.
we also seen him not do it.
Yeah, twice.
But we've
Game
seen,
7.
We've seen Tatum
Games-
not do it. We've seen Tatum not do it.
Bro,
a lot
hold
more.
on. I'm not same energy, bro. I'm not gonna let you get away with that. You sitting here praising Anthony Edwards when he
Yes.
was nowhere to be found in Game 7 against Denver.
Young.
Come on, call a spade a spade, bro. Call a spade a
What else we
spade.
got on
He's
here?
young.
Call a spade because look, at the same time, bro, when I'm watching this
I don't
Boston
expect.
team,
I don't expect the same performance out of Anthony Edwards that I did once Jason Tatum
look,
had
you
his
know what the difference
experience.
is? You know what the difference is between experience and being young?
Experience.
No. The difference between being experienced and being young is that Jason Tatum affected the game without scoring in game 2, where Anthony Edwards.
I just feel like that's a lot of bail.
That's not how is that bad.
If
You
it
talking
was
about a
anybody
triple,
else,
damn near
bro,
a triple, anybody else?
Y'all are shitting on Anthony Edwards, and he affected the game the same
How?
way. But y'all saying
No, I
Did he,
gave
do
it-
it, did he do it with assists? Did he do it with steals? Did he do it with blocks? Did he do it with
his
defense?
presence,
With the,
his
what?
presence was the
Presence?
reason that they were even close in these
And
games.
Tatum's presence was not.
ain't shit. His presence
You
ain't shit.
Spike. Are you
What are we
watching the
talking
game
about?
or you
Yes.
watching the highlights?
FIFO, I'm watching the games, and I'm telling you that what Anthony Edwards did affected the team way more.
When is game 4?
Way more
'Cause we
than
need to
what
watch
Tatum
game
did.
4 together because I need to
I'm
see.
with it.
I need to watch it with you
Send
so
the
I can
stream
point
yard.
it out.
We can do it.
Cause bro, you tripping.
Y'all are giving Anthony Edwards hell, and y'all saying,
No,
he didn't
I'm
show
pointing
up
out
to
the
do
2
this.
bad games
Tatum
he had.
been doing this his whole career.
Look, I shot Anthony Edwards bail for being young
Tatum
and for
been
not
doing
being
that
here.
his whole career, though.
Spike, let me ask you this and answer this with a yes or no. Is Jason Tatum affecting other aspects of the game outside of scoring the ball?
Yes. So
Is he doing that?
So was Anthony Edwards, right?
No.
Yes or no?
He
Like you
didn't
just
do-
did me.
no, wait, hold
So
on.
was Anthony Edwards, right?
No.
He was the best player on that team.
No. In that series against
See, now
Dallas,
you just
in that
hate-
no.
you hating, FIFO.
I'm not
That's not
hating.
true.
I love Anthony Edwards. I
But
love
that's
Anthony
not
Edwards.
true what you're saying.
What did he do? He ain't do shit to Kyrie.
He
Kyrie
didn't-
shat all
He
over
didn't
him.
have shit. I got to work with Cat and fucking whatever the other nigga name is.
Can I
from
give some
France.
numbers? Let me give you some numbers. Let me give you some postseason numbers, Spike.
Thank you, Ken.
Jason Tatum, 24.9 points. Jaylen Brown, 24.6 points. Push. Rebounds per game. Jason Tatum, 10.3 rebounds a game. Jaylen Brown, 6 rebounds a game. Jason Tatum's assists per game, 6.3. Jaylen Brown, 2.9. Steals, 1 for Jason Tatum, 1.3 for Jaylen Brown, and they both average 0.7 blocks apiece.
So just rebounds.
And assist.
And assist. And he's not even shooting the ball
y'all are
well.
trying to make him Magic
No.
Johnson now.
No,
He's
we're not trying to
even
do that.
shooting the ball well yet.
Right.
And his numbers are still right there with Jaylen Brown scoring wise.
And he's struggling. And that's a struggle. And here's the thing. If you look at his regular season stats, I'm pretty sure he averages a little bit north of 25 points a game.
Yeah, it's like 26 something.
Thank you. So, and I guarantee you that his rebounds and assists during the regular season are lower than what they are in the playoffs. So, because he knows experience, he knows that my shot ain't going down how I typically go down. I got to up my game in other areas.
Bill, you shoot
Where Anthony Edwards, again, inexperience, doesn't
doesn't know how to affect the game in other areas.
His rebounds in the
with
regular
that.
season
I agree
were
with
at
that.
8, and his
Thank
assists
you.
were at 5.
Thank you. Look at the numbers, Spike. And all I'm trying to do is to get you to understand, because, again, the quote that you said, I don't see Boston winning if Jason Tatum's not their best player. Right? Right now, all three of us can agree he's not playing like the best player on that squad. He is the best player, but he's not playing like it because he's not scoring at an efficient rate like we know he can. However, he is upping his game in every other area because I know I'm not hitting buckets. And that's what great players do.
Yeah, if he get up, right now he's shooting 42% from the field in the playoffs and 28% from 3.
And he's shooting like 36 in this series.
Imagine if that gets to where Jaylen Brown's is at 54. Imagine if he gets even close to 50 and 35% from 3.
But Jaylen Brown is doing that.
But Jaylen Brown is not the best player.
Jaylen Brown
he's a better player
Jaylen
right
Brown
now
is
today.
at where Jaylen Brown is pretty much at his regular season level.
Right? And that's better.
Jason Tatum hasn't hit his yet.
Scoring
Wise.
I still, again, I think that Brown is the best player on the team, and he's
The
playing
better
better.
player.
Both. I'm giving him both.
No, he's the better player right now, but he's not the best player. Those numbers show you that.
It doesn't.
It does.
How?
Okay.
Because he's struggling and he's still doing what your guy is doing. And he's doing it
Look,
better.
Spike, I'm with you. When I'm watching the first 2 games, it was infuriating watching Jason Tatum
He had
on the
16
court.
points in the first game.
Yeah, well, it's not like it needed them, because KP had a nice stretch, and
Drew had a good stretch in the second game.
yeah, and Drew made key baskets in the second game. 12 of Drew's 23 points came off of Jason Tatum, and Jason Tatum still scored 18, and Jaylen Brown had 21, so it was still a 3-point difference, but I get what Jason Kidd was trying to say, and but these guys didn't fall for it. They knew what was going on. Mm-hmm. They've had to deal with this conversation throughout their whole career, so they just played it. They were like, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. And just watching, because I know Jason Tatum plays better than what he is. Like, he's making crazy turnovers. He's not getting clean drives to the basket. It's a lot of goofy shit. Mm-hmm. But nevertheless, a day of reckoning is coming, Spike. And does that bode well for the Mavs? We shall see.
I agree with you in the sense of what Jason Kidd did was very smart. I ain't necessarily like we have different opinions on who's the best or who's not, but what he did was similar to Phil Jackson, similar to what great coaches do. And I'm just trying to disrupt your locker room. I want you guys talking about who you think the best player is versus focusing on us for the next 2 games. Mm-hmm. And it worked.
No, it didn't work. It works when you
No,
win.
it didn't work at all.
I think it did work.
Where did it work, Spike?
Because, this was after game 2, right?
This was after game 1. Mm-hmm. It didn't work at all.
And Shaq talked about it with Jaylen Brown after game 2.
I saw that.
I'm saying, how did they comment on this stuff? He was like,
And he cleared it up.
Brown is the best player.
Yeah, but he cleared it up.
What did he say? I ain't seen
What did he say? It was sweet too. I think he kind of said what FIFO said.
Well, I mean, again, I think it's a smart move by Jason Kidd.
If it would have worked.
Yeah, look.
But I like what Shaq said. Do you remember what he said?
Shaq was basically saying, the only advice I got to you, young fella, he was speaking like in parables, and then Jaylen Brown, he basically said, don't
get caught up in something like titles or something like that.
Yeah, don't get caught up in titles and stuff like that. And Jaylen Brown was just shaking his head. And Shaq was like, you know what I mean? He's like, nah. No, or Grant Hill was like, you know what he's saying? He was like, nah. He's like, all right, since you don't understand, let me clarify you, young fella. He was like, don't worry about it. This is your team, his team. Don't worry about
Grant
if it's
Hill
Shaq
said
or... No,
Shaq.
Shaq. Shaq was saying, don't worry about if it's Kobe team, my team. You know what I'm saying? If I get 40, he get 39. It is what it is. We won the game. Like, don't worry about, quote unquote, whose team it is.
Narratives.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Great advice.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Because obviously,
And that's what Jason Kidd was trying to, like, I'm trying to insert that just like Phil Jackson used to do when the officials are calling bad calls, and then you had this lingering over the series for the rest of the finals. Phil Jackson was famous for doing that. I think Jason Kidd is just taking a page out of his book, and it's smart to do as a coach.
100%, but it's not necessarily working. And the reason
We don't
why,
know that.
because here's the thing, the fact of the matter is Boston is about to have the 2 highest paid players in NBA history on the same roster. That's what's going to happen. That's the fact of the matter. Neither one of you, bro, between 2 people in total salary, we're talking more than $500 million worth of money, right? Yep. Neither one of y'all going nowhere. we committed 6-7 years and 300 and change to the both of you. Y'all not going nowhere.
Yeah.
So we'll change all this shit. We'll change the coach. We'll change all of this shit. Neither one of y'all are going anywhere.
They already
right
used to it, and that's what I said when you asked the question about the GM, and I said Tatum. They were committed to Tatum, but they picked both.
Exactly.
They believe it.
Now I'll put it to you like this: it would have been the same play, but let's say they already re-signed Jaylen Brown, but now they re-signed Jaylen Brown to his second contract. And now they're talking about signing Jason Tatum to the second contract. Now this is when you drive the wedge. Because remember, they're both coming off of rookie deals. What do I always tell you? When a motherfucker is coming off of a rookie deal, he gonna sign that first one. He gonna sign that first one, bro. I'm still young. Doesn't matter if I win or lose. I need the paper. Because you might not get a second contract. But if you're one of those few guys that is gonna make a second contract, and now the narrative is, well, shit, is Boston gonna pay the luxury tax to keep both of them? Mm-hmm. Now you could drive that wedge. But right now, they're both coming off of rookie deals. That shit, they're both going to sign it, bro.
And Minnesota's dealing with luxury tax issues right now, so they got problems themselves.
Yep.
But and I think we got to give the finals, they're not over yet. And I think we'll talk about what Brad Stevens did if they win the finals afterwards. But yeah, y'all already talked about Kyrie to death. So let's go to some other topics of conversation. Caitlin Clark was left off the U.S. women's Olympic team, right? Mm-hmm. She said, is that a real quote when she said this is going to let the monster out or something like that?
Did she say that? I didn't see her say that.
I seen people saying that online. I don't know if she said that.
I don't know if she said that. But either way, do y'all think that was a smart idea for them to leave her off?
I think this just continues to, push the narrative that the WNBA and the powers that be over there don't know what the fuck they're doing. Because traditionally on USA teams, men and women, there's always 1 or 2 that don't necessarily deserve to be there, but it's good to bring a young player up or what have you. And Caitlin Clark is what the women's world of basketball wants to see. Even if she only gets a minimum amount of burn, it's better to have her on the roster than not to have her on the roster. Because at the end of the day, even on USA teams, not all 12 players always play. There's going to be some games where it's only 8 or 9, maybe 10 players play. And then there's going to be games, especially on the women's side, because the women's game, it's still a big disparity between U.S. and everybody else. The world has not caught up in women's basketball. Like, the women are going to blow teams out. Caitlin Clark is going to get some PT. People want to see it. From a business standpoint, Ken, they fucking it up.
I agree with you, FIFO. It seems like they're being really detrimental to the cause of women's basketball in the sense of, yeah, there were more deserving players, but just like what you said, Candace Parker, she was on there, her rookie year going into it, and Diana Taurasi. Like, it's happened before, so it's not unprecedented. And the thing that they're blaming is saying that, well, she's too popular, and we don't want her fan base going hard against the coaches or the USA team if she doesn't get play time. Who cares?
Yeah.
You said it perfectly. This is women's basketball fumbling the opportunity to have everybody watching. Like, if Caitlin Clark was going to be playing for the Olympic team, I'm watching them games. Now, I ain't necessarily saying that I'm going to or going to not watch now, but I know for a fact that I would watch if she were on the team, and they should have made considerations for her to be on that team. I don't care who you got to take off. I don't care who's less deserving or more deserving. She's supposed to be on that team. She's the face of women's basketball right now, and it's just like the narrative that's been going back and forth.
Oh, it's not AJ?
Who?
Whatever the other person, AJ Wilson?
Asia was.
It's not her?
She's the best player.
Okay, I was just asking.
She's the best player in women's basketball. She's not the face.
I don't follow WNBA like that. So I'm just asking because I don't follow WNBA, so I just needed to know.
To me, Caitlin Clark is not the face. She's just the most popular. She's coming in with the most hype.
Okay,
So different things.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's not the face. You're right. And I heard Jalen laugh. He's a women's basketball fanatic. I get it. She may not be the face. Asia Wilson is the best player in women's basketball. I will concede to that. However, if
the
we're
most
talking,
popular is
if we're talking about popularity and we're talking about the Olympics that are coming up and people are going to be watching these games because people watch the Olympics. They watch fucking gymnastics. They watch swimming. They watch all of these things. Caitlin Clark needs to be there.
So you don't think they're going to watch without her on the team?
They are, but
They ain't
Ken,
gonna be as
it's the boost.
concerned. It ain't gonna be a big draw, Ken.
Ken, what it is look, and this is the reason why I'm always concerned with numbers, because worked in sales for a long time. I was manager for a long time. There's a high level way of looking at numbers and telling the stories of numbers, but to me, this is plain black and white. No pun intended. You can take it there if you want to. When Caitlin Clark is on, the numbers move in a positive way.
People gonna watch.
So, Ken, to answer your question, people are going to watch the USA women's team.
For her to play just a couple of minutes.
Don't matter.
No. Hold on. No.
You saying
We're not
regardless
even.
if she there.
I'm not even
not there
adding the
yet.
hypothetical. What I'm saying is the USA team for the women's side, based off of how they're constructed now, without Caitlin Clark, they're going to do numbers.
And okay, can you finish?
But if you were to add Caitlin Clark, you have that base that people are going to watch. You're going to get that extra 10, 15, 20%.
Okay. What happens when they realize that she's not getting minutes or only a little?
You're still going to get more viewership than you would if you didn't have her on there.
So you're saying that those people would more than likely stay around waiting for her to get
I didn't say
checked?
all 20%.
I know, but there's a
All I'm
percentage that'll stay around
Yes.
to watch her play 2 or 3
100%.
minutes of a game that's a blowout.
Well, here's the thing, Ken. First of all, she's going to get more than 2 or 3 minutes because in the
I just threw a number out there,
I
but she's
understand.
going to get very little minutes because that's what happens.
Not necessarily. So this is what I'm trying to explain to you. In the women's game, there's going to be so many blowouts that the number 12, 11, and 10 person on that roster is probably going to play 10.
Well, I'm
15
reading
minutes.
here that that a source quoted 2 impeccable sources said that their concern is putting her on the team when she only got a few minutes of playing time, which is logical for a rookie on a great team.
That's the
that
reason-
her fans would be upset.
Yeah,
if that
they saying
happened.
that's the reason they didn't select her. It's because of her popularity.
That is crazy as shit.
insane.
This is
It makes no
crazy.
sense.
This is crazy.
I gotta stop y'all because y'all sound crazy. All right, especially FIFO.
Damn.
You definitely sound crazy.
I want to hear.
I sound crazy.
It's not even, first of all, for her not being on the team. It's not even. One thing is that is different about women's basketball and the NBA is NBA moves off stars. Like WNBA is actually true basketball. Like true basketball. Like it's really fundamentally sound basketball. And so when you're making a women's team, they're looking and constructing a team that is based off of what is actually going to be chemistry based. Four of the players on the team are from the Aces. Like are the top guards that have been on that.
10
Let
of the
him
players.
finish. Let him finish.
10
We
of the
gotta hear
players
the
from the
point.
same team.
Hold
right?
on, we got.
Where the hell you got 10 of the players? There's only 12 players. Why would they
Well, I'm saying most of them are from the Aces or the
It's four of
fucking.
them. 4 of them are from the Aces. But what I'm saying is, even the guard positions, people are talking about Taurasi being on the team. She's 42. She's been there, and she's with a team. There's chemistry that is there.
She's still a bucket.
and it is there for them. And y'all are talking about also the point of the 3 minutes. Yeah, that would be a whole nother side story. The WNBA does not work off just like these random stories like the NBA and all this extra shit that goes on the side. They are really playing basketball. The point is to play basketball and to be there to play basketball. So y'all are talking about business, and even if you're talking about the business, the USA team is not the WNBA. Those are 2 different entities. The Team USA decides a team that is different from the WNBA. So like these things are 2 different things that y'all are conflating that do not match.
Hold on, Jalen. Let me ask you this question. Is the business of basketball not first and foremost, regardless if it's WNBA or USA? How is it not?
This is the problem that I have with people when they say that, because people want to say that it should be about winning any other time, but now they want to talk about the business.
No. Because I'm looking at it from an executive level. I'm not looking at it from somebody in the locker room. I'm looking at it as the person that makes the phone call to be like,
It's
hey,
the Olympics,
The
bro.
executive
I
there's no
understand.
executive. Team USA is not based on the WNBA, is what I'm
So-
saying.
so-
So it's not an executive decision.
okay.
I don't understand when you say it's not an executive decision. Team USA knows that Caitlin Clark would be a draw, and like what you just said. Yes, 4 of the places from the Aces, and then 4 more are from the fucking New York Liberty. So we got 80% of the team are from only 2 WNBA teams. If we're in this magnificent point with women's basketball and we're trying to grow the game, why do I want most of the players only coming from 2 teams?
Who's on
I
the
want
committee
Caitlin Clark.
for
I want
USA
Angel
Women?
Reese. Like, I understand what you're saying, Jalen. It's more so, we're building the team because we want to win. But there's still a business aspect of it where we want
Why
to
when
grow
they're just
the
going to
game.
win a gold
Can we
medal?
want to grow the game? It's the same thing the Dream
Bro,
Team
this
did.
is US.
Like, they didn't send bombs over
Go
in
ahead.
92.
Bro.
They
Go
didn't send bombs over in 92.
Bro, y'all-
they sent the best players that they had, the most recognizable players, and Caitlin Clark should be a part of
Can I
it.
ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you not understand that there's a difference between USA basketball and going to win a gold medal and the WNBA who's trying to make money?
100%. My question, Jalen.
Women's
'cause
basketball is women's
hold on,
basketball.
Hold on. Because I don't know. Is there in
So the answer is yes.
In USA women's basketball, is there a committee that picks the team?
Yes.
Who's on that committee?
For Team USA,
Yeah, I'm asking.
there is a committee. Yes.
Okay, who's on that committee?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But that is considered an executive level, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying my standpoint is coming from an executive level. Executive looks at all the numbers, not only just the chemistry that's on the court, but all of the numbers.
That's not true either.
Hold on, Jalen. I'll let you speak. Let me speak now. Part of that and why certain players, especially on the men's side, I don't know how much on the women's side, but definitely on the men's side, there's certain players that make the roster and certain players that don't because of their affiliation with whoever they sign shoe deals with, right? All I'm saying is, Jalen, all of these things get taken into account when you have a committee. It's not 100% basketball chemistry on the court when you're looking at it from an executive level.
What is the most important thing for the USA basketball team?
To have the best talent on
To
the
win
court.
the gold.
Thank you, Spike.
To win the gold.
But
win the
Ken,
gold.
even outside
But-
of that,
but-
to FIFA's point, as an executive for any NBA team, what is the key thing that you have to do in order to keep your job?
Make sure they're marketable.
No. What is the main thing you have to do to keep your job?
Market the team.
No. What is the main thing you have to do to keep your job?
To
the
win.
thing that y'all are talking about, that y'all
To
just
win.
talked about
To
for
win.
an
Okay.
hour and some change.
To win.
is
To win. To win.
To win the championship, or to at least be
But-
a team that is able to win.
Not
But Jalen-
always. Not always.
It doesn't. But
All right,
that's not always.
FIFO don't do
That's
that.
not- that's not always.
Don't do that because you're gonna take.
That's all-
He's
No.
right. He's right. Because you're gonna take credibility away from what we're saying, and me and you on the same page. The point of this is, yes, the key is to win, but adding Angel Reese, adding Caitlin Clark to this team isn't going to take away from them winning because they are that much better than the rest of the world. So why, when we're talking about growing the sport of women's basketball, wouldn't I put the biggest 2 faces on the team? Like winning,
'Cause you don't need 'em.
Winning is gonna
You don't
happen.
need 'em.
You
Spike,
do need them, Ken.
Why? I don't
Because
disagree.
I'm gonna watch if Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are there. I'm not gonna watch if they not.
So
And that's what you're looking for, right?
No.
Y'all know they are.
No. Spike.
point
Spike.
of the Olympics
That's
is to
where
grow
I
the
don't agree
game.
with you. Yes and no. Yes and no. Spike. Here's the thing. The women's basketball team is so far leaps and bounds ahead of every other
There's
country.
no chance that they're gonna lose.
No, there's no chance.
No chance.
They're going to go undefeated. When's the last time the women's USA team lost a game?
There's
Like,
no chance that they will lose in the
No,
Olympics.
not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Right? Because
How
of
y'all
that.
know
Huh?
Y'all heard somebody say it?
What?
How y'all know that?
Bro, like, come on.
Because they-
Jalen.
because
you watch
they're
women's
that damn
basketball,
good.
you know. Where the rest of the good women in the world coming from? If
They're
not
all
coming
American.
From America.
Y'all continue. You're right.
You know that, Jalen.
Right.
You just
no,
being
I'm not gonna go there
contrarian.
'cause that's a whole nother.
Okay,
conversation.
fair.
Right.
But the USA women are going to win this tournament. So why wouldn't I have? Why wouldn't I have the
Because
face?
then the side story will be why, like just like the side story, she didn't make the team. Why isn't she playing? Because she won't be playing. Even when FIFA was talking about y'all blowing them out, she still will only be probably getting 5 minutes.
That's cool. She's at least there,
No, it's
though.
not. Because
People
just like y'all
will
are
watch.
Just like y'all are talking, everyone is finding a storyline to talk about her as compared to talking about the W.
They're not going to talk about it at all if she's not there,
Yes,
though.
they
That's
are.
the point. No, they not. No one's going to care.
It's
King.
the Olympics. What do you mean they're not going to
Bro,
talk
it's
about
It's
it?
going to be a cutaway. It's going to be a cutaway. Oh, the women's team won however much, 100 to 33 against fucking West
Somebody
Boomfuck
said in the
Africa.
chat, and I agree with it. This is why Spike is a Cowboys fan. Because we see where his priorities lie. It matters about being marketable more than about winning.
So look, I'm getting this off of Wikipedia, so it may not be 100% correct. However, I'm pretty sure it's damn near correct. So the USA women's team is one of the most dominant in all Olympic sports, boasting a 70-3 record in Olympic play and a record of 7 consecutive titles. They have no Olympic losses since '92. Like they're not gonna have a loss this go round. They're not gonna have a loss 4 years from now. They're not gonna have a loss 8 years from now. That's just how dominant American women are, and the world is not catching up. The world is not catching up. That being said, that's the reason why, to me, if I was on that committee as an executive, I'd be like, hey, we could pick 10 motherfuckers that we know is going to ball their ass off and we're not going to lose a game. And let's pick the last 2 roster spots for 2 of the up and coming rookies that are draws. Now, damn, that didn't sound right, but you know what I meant. Now, here's the thing. Now, if they play a couple of minutes here and there, it is what it is. Didn't LeBron James and Carmelo and D Wade only play a couple of minutes when they were on that first Olympic team? It is what it is.
Christian Laettner was one of the most popular players in America when he got elected to the Dream
To the
Team.
92
He didn't
team.
play any, like he played 8 minutes a game.
Another one was Anthony Davis. He ain't get no tick. But it is. But
They
here's
still
the
need
thing,
to
though.
be there, though.
But here, I agree that it helps them as basketball players. I always talk about Team USA basketball because even Gilbert Arenas talked about it. He said when he was there and they were, they had a tryout at the time, but he said, bro, it's Chris Paul, LeBron James, D Wade,
Carmelo,
Dwight Howard,
Kobe.
and Carmelo.
All of these people said that, yes.
And he said, when I looked at them, and he was like, yo, this is the best 5 I'm ever going to see. And if y'all can't stop me, he was like, why do you think the next year in the NBA I'm scoring 40, 50, 60? Because if I knew those 5 couldn't stop me, what the hell is the NBA team going to do? So I think that it's great for the progression of a player, which is why I would like, if Angel Reese and Caitlin, I think those 2 are the 2 rookies that people are talking
both
most
should
about.
be on the team.
I think they should be on the team. Because
I agree with everything
Jalen, the
you're
other 10 will handle business.
I agree with everything that FIFO is saying in the sense of, like, you just need the faces, and it seems
It's
like
just business.
Women's basketball is fumbling the bag right now, bro.
It's
They
just
going
business.
like all the stuff that we've been talking about with Caitlin Clark, all of the bullshit that they saying that she's had to go through with being in the league and people being hard on her. I don't know if I agree or disagree with that, but the narrative is still out there, and it seems like they biting they're spiting their nose to bite their face or whatever the fuck the saying is for that. Women's basketball is not prepared for the moment, and Caitlin Clark is the moment, bro. She got to be there. I know you a hater, Ken, because she's the great white hype, but the fact still remains. If she's on the Olympic team, people pay attention to that. They continue to pay attention to women's basketball. They continue to pay attention to the WNBA. Without that, it doesn't happen.
Bro,
I don't know these women on this team, and I'm not going to watch any of these women on this team doing this. Like, I don't know who.
Yeah, you do.
Sabrina, well, she's good. I do know her. Yeah. I don't know who Jewel Lloyd is. I don't know who. Well, I knew.
Bro, I don't even think Angel Reese. I don't think Angel or Caitlin don't need to be on the team.
Why?
Why are y'all upset?
Them were the most
Why are
popular
y'all
players in
upset
the
because
sport.
another entity completely separate from the WNBA
Yes,
did not select
but
them?
it's women's basketball. It ain't got nothing to do with it being the WNBA and their business. They're trying to grow the game of women's basketball.
All right.
Those ladies need to be there.
No, they don't.
They have to.
They'll be there in 2028.
I don't think they have to.
No one's gonna care.
But I think it's a missed opportunity. They are.
No one's gonna care. No one's gonna care if they cut Kaylee Cooper.
2026 will be here, and y'all still won't be watching.
I'll watch it.
Because if y'all cared enough, you would know who those players was that you didn't mention.
I will watch it.
You don't care. You just care about Caitlyn. That's basically the point.
No,
So it
I've
doesn't
watched.
matter.
But that's my point, Jalen.
Matter
I've
of
watched
fact, how many Caitlyn games have you watched?
a couple, 2,
How many Asia Wilson games have you watched, though?
3. I fuck with Asia
But you
Wilson.
can name
And that's what I'm
Asia
saying.
Wilson. Hold on, tell me. You see what you just did, right? Because of Caitlyn, you notice Asia Wilson, but
Yes.
you know off the top of your head how many Asia Wilson games you done, but you don't
Yes.
know how many Caitlyn Clark games you. So you don't need Caitlyn Clark. You just needed an entryway into the game to appreciate the game.
Right.
Okay, so
You're
had
not
your
wrong.
entryway because you
Say
care. Hold on, let me finish. Because you care so much that Caitlyn Clark isn't there, you should go and watch it and be like, "They look sorry without Caitlyn," and find out if you enjoyed it or not. Because
we know that they not.
But that's my point, Jalen. You're right. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm a bigger sports fan than most people, though. So when I see her, Caitlin Clark, doing her thing, yes, I'm going to go check out Asia Wilson and all the people, even the other chick, I can't think of her name right now. She averaged 25 points a game, and she got left off the team as well. But I'm going to go watch this now because I'm a fan of what I see Caitlin Clark doing in the introduction to women's basketball. Most people not doing that, though. Most people, if Caitlin Clark not playing, they not going to pay attention. So why not put her there in the position where people will pay attention and they see a Asia Wilson, they see all of these great players on the same team.
Well, one, they're not going to care to watch her play only 5 minutes a game, hypothetically.
They going to watch, Ken. That's not true. They going to watch, man. She's a draw. You
Bro,
know that, kid. You've been trying to hate on the uprise of Caitlin Clark since she's been doing her thing.
It's not that. I just probably have a bleaker outlook on society than you do. You have way more faith than people. And I don't see it, bro. Appreciate you, Jalen, coming in.
Good shot, Jalen.
Because I was trying to ask, I was like, I didn't know. I didn't know. I couldn't frame it the way you did.
But again, the reason
sound crazy to me.
We wouldn't have been talking about this if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark. Women's basketball would have not made this rundown. We wouldn't have been talking about the women's Olympic team, any of that shit. She is the face that they need for that sport, and they need to lead into it versus leaning away.
When are we gonna have some Asia Wilson stuff on here?
Asia a beast, man. She been doing her thing. I don't know what else to say about her though.
I'm just saying. Every time Nick puts something on here, it's about this white ass girl.
I did run down this week. So
But he watches WNBA. I know this is news for whatever reason, but y'all never put shit about other WNBA players on here. Because y'all are part of the problem. Because whoever put this shit together.
The most popular person, we didn't say the best, we didn't say the most impactful, we didn't say none of that. The most popular person in WNBA right now is Caitlin Clark.
Part of what made Dead in Sports special is we did not always stick to the names that are always there.
But
we not always talk, even though we're about to talk about the fucking Lakers now.
That's the point.
But it always
at least it got us talking about it though. Like
we haven't talked about it, Spike.
We are talking about WNBA.
No, we are not.
Even you're mentioning.
We are not, Spike.
We're talking about one person.
Y'all are talking exactly. You're talking about one person.
We're not talking about it as a whole. We're not breaking down games.
Who's gonna break? We don't even break down basketball for that sense. Like football is the only thing that we really break down. We ain't breaking down NBA regular season games either. I'm saying,
we're talking more storylines than basketball.
Even that Ken is asking about Asia Wilson and her averaging 27 and 15 a game over the first half of many games that they've been doing in the NBA and doing record breaking shit. Even that's new. And it's not because of Asia Wilson hooping. It's because we've seen Angel Reese and we've seen Caitlin Clark do what they do. And now the women's basketball game is on the forefront of the conversation.
But here's the thing, though, Spike. Like, the overarching point is that we continue to highlight one person.
Yes. When
we've said numerous times on this telecast that WNBA is for real, and they do have other stars.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
So we are falling in the same pit that every other news or sports media is in. We're not breaking out of the trend, and we've never been follow the leader.
We've got here.
But hold on.
We just got here, FIFO.
But Spike. The WNBA season happens in the summer when basketball is about to finish and football is still in the off season, right? Perfect time for us to talk about the games. Perfect time for us to say, you know what, fans, we're going to watch this game with us. We're not doing that. All we're doing is talking the headlines and anything that happens with Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
So that is the issue. So to what Jalen is saying is that we don't honestly give a fuck about women basketball.
Because we just
you
got
care about
here,
Caitlin Clark. But
we just got here.
Spike,
it ain't
I'm not
like we're not going to be able to break down. Like
basketball is basketball, bro.
Everybody literally is just pulling up the tent, just pulling out the blanket, and like, okay, let's see what y'all got going on because of the Angel Reese and the Caitlin Clark shit when they were in college. Now that we're here, yes, y'all are right. We can start talking about it more, but it ain't gonna happen overnight. It's not like we showing up and be like, oh man, Asia Wilson is balling. Like, bro, who knows? We just got here.
Spike, for the last 2 years, in August and September, I left here, or even and have sat here in the studio watching the Aces play and win championships, and I sit here and say, "Yo, the Aces just went on," and it just nobody cares.
You're a women's basketball fan, though, Jalen.
That's not what he's saying, though.
What's he saying?
He's saying that we don't give a fuck.
Don't give a fuck.
Yet.
And I've been saying,
Y'all are
I've been
right.
very
I'm just
clear on
saying
my
yet,
position.
though. I'm just saying, don't put a period on the we don't give a fuck, Ken. There's a comma there. We don't give a fuck yet.
Okay.
Now we're here and we want to give a fuck, and it's because of Caitlin Clark. Yes, because you said, but now that we're here, we get to discover Asia Wilson. We get to discover all of these other great players. And now, if you do give a fuck about it, when you see it, you're going to talk about it as we've done. It just ain't evolved into
How
that
about
yet.
you and Nick show me y'all give a fuck by putting something
Ken,
on here other than
Ken,
fucking Caitlin Clark?
I've watched 5 games.
And I haven't seen
I've
one
watched 5
storyline about Caitlin Clark on this damn docket. When I prepare for this show and I go through this stuff, I see Caitlin Clark. I don't see anything about Asia Wilson. I think we may have had one shit about Angel Reese. That's the point. You have constantly said, now that she's here, she's going to bring other eyeballs to the game, and we're going to start paying attention. I have not seen that yet.
I think
From
I
you.
think it's evident.
So you know what? I think you need to do a power ranking.
Of who? The
Evident
West
where?
Best WNBA players or best
I
games
can do that.
in WNBA.
Next week. That's my power ranking for next week. The
you
best
go.
WNBA.
You
players.
welcome.
I'll do that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Y'all care about the Dan Hurley turning on the Lakers? Do we really need to talk about this?
He turned them down.
Yeah.
No.
He said he wanted to go back to UConn.
Why you say that?
I don't know if I believe that narrative like that.
That he didn't turn them down?
Yeah.
Well, what makes you say that?
To me, the Lakers have come out and said that LeBron is pretty much out of the coaching decision. He doesn't want any parts of it. But Anthony Davis is really gung ho to be active in the next hiring of the coach.
Mm-hmm.
When
LeBron told them to hire somebody for the future.
Yeah,
That was a quote.
that's why LeBron is handled because he know, like, bro, you're not picking a coach that's going to be here long term for me.
I don't want nobody here for me.
Exactly. Like, y'all got to do what's best for y'all. I'm a worker. You know what I'm saying? That being said, Ken, you don't turn down arguably the most prestigious NBA franchise to go coach UConn.
I think that's the question, though. Is it still a prestigious job?
It is. It's the Lakers. Look, Spike. You can huff and puff and put your eyes up all the way to see God. The reason why it's still a prestigious job is that they have the most primetime games.
Yes.
It's negotiated. It's always going to be. Have you been to the Staples Center? I know they call it something different now.
It's a Staples Center.
No, it's not. No, it's the fuck is it called? It's something different. Staples.com no longer owns the naming rights. Somebody else does. But have you ever been to a Laker game? If you're ever in LA and you go and you sit in that arena and you see all of them damn statues outside of that arena, you'll understand why. There's not another arena that has more retired jerseys. Crypto, thank you, Ken. There's not another arena that has more retired jerseys outside of Boston. There's not another arena, I guarantee you, that has more statues of their greatest players. It is, between them and Boston, the most storied franchises ever. Rick Pitino took a flyer, right? And he went to go coach Boston. Mm-hmm. I don't give a damn what you have going on in college. It's never going to be what the NBA is. And if you think you're that guy, you take your shot. Because you know why? You could always go to any other college program and turn the college program around and get back to where you were. But if you don't take that chance at the NBA, you may never get that chance again.
You can't. He's looking at a three-peat though, right? Like you saying,
you got to strike when the iron's hot.
I can go to any program.
But what if you don't win it? Was it worth it?
Yeah.
To turn down the Lakers?
Absolutely.
And not get the three-peat?
Because the Lakers is not that job that you're saying that it is now.
Or maybe another job comes up that's more suitable. Like, I don't know, OKC, Wemby.
Yeah, like why would I go coach LeBron James on the last
Pop is almost
at
done.
a 40-year-old? Like I'm not going to do that if I'm such a high commodity as Hurley. I don't Give a fuck about Anthony Davis, bro. Come on.
Here you go with the
You
slander.
don't,
man.
Think
Listen.
basketball, Spike, and coaching and
Thank you.
stuff like that.
That's a top
that
10
recognize
top-
the talent and know what it is.
That's
No,
a top
come
10,
on,
top
bro.
15 player.
I'm not leaving the chance to three-peat at UConn to go coach Anthony Davis.
Okay.
And
Well,
LeBron James.
well-
I'm not doing that.
Okay. Well, you ask other coaches that didn't
They
leave.
just asked Hurley. He didn't do it.
Okay.
See, that's what,
I-
exactly.
I think that is just for the media. I don't know how it went down, but it's just my feeling. I don't think that's how it went down.
Meaning what?
Meaning, I don't know if the Lakers made a true offer. I just think this is just both sides saving face.
Wait, so you think it's possible that they interview Hurley before they give Redick the job?
Why would they do that? They got pound on their
Because
face.
look,
Look,
hold
I'm the
on,
Lakers.
hold on,
I
pause,
can't-
Spike.
Think about it.
What did you say? Oh no, you said it. You said, why would I want to coach a 40-year-old LeBron?
Yeah, why would I do that? If I can go win 3 straight with the best system in college basketball, like most critics are saying, I got the
Who
the
wants
team.
to coach a 40-year-old LeBron?
Nobody.
Redick.
So
That's the answer to your question. You can make the face.
So,
I'm just-
and
I mean,
what-
but-
hold on,
that
Spike.
says a lot,
Hold
though.
on, Spike. What did I
That
say
says
earlier?
a lot, though. Someone with no coaching experience. I be doing podcasts and I coach fifth graders
First
in
of
my
all-
office.
First of all, do you know that LeBron took 3 rookie head coaches to the finals, right? Like, you know that.
What does that have to do?
it has a lot to do with it, Spike.
How?
But listen to the
Listen, man.
statement. Listen to the statement.
Look,
If I'm Dan Hurley, there's
of course,
no
he was younger
reason.
then.
There's no reason that I want to go coach LeBron James and hope that I get to the finals.
Right. You just said that. Yeah.
Right. I'm not doing that.
And he didn't want to do it at apparently the money they offered, so he went back to UConn.
Right.
And I think they paid him more. I don't know.
because I want to say they're still paying 2 other coaches
But-
outside of the Darvin Ham and Frank Vogel. Shit, I think they might be still paying Luke Walton.
At this rate, they should have just kept Darvin Ham. But
They should have.
Dan Hurley doesn't want to do that, but JJ Redick does.
Exactly. And then what?
Because
and
he
then,
don't got
wait,
no
hold on,
coaching
pause.
experience. Who is JJ
Hold on,
Redick?
pause. What did I just say about LeBron James and the coaching search? He wants to be hands off. He publicly said that. We all know this about LeBron. He is calculated and he's extremely passive aggressive. There's a reason why he went to the Cleveland playoff game and sat front row and was fashionably late. Wendy said it. Wendy said,
And he a free agent.
LeBron is never late to anything. He wanted to make sure everybody in that arena and everybody on TV saw him in Cleveland. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for LeBron publicly saying, I don't want to be part of the coaching search. If you're passive aggressive, what does that mean? I'm part of the damn coaching search. And I've already interviewed the coach. Do you want to see how many times?
You talking about Redick?
Yes. Yes. Do you want to see how many times and how me and him align on basketball philosophy?
It makes sense, FIFO. I didn't consider it. I see people saying, Rob and a couple of others saying that Hurley played them to get an extension.
I agree with that.
Which, hey, I can't knock the hustle. But if this was just a way for both parties to get what they want, for them to interview Hurley so it won't look crazy that they signed Redick, because now they have no coaches that are available. They're just going to get Redick, who's been rumored. It makes sense. I didn't even think about that.
See,
but I get it.
I don't think that makes sense in the sense of now I have to give whoever comes in, whoever want. If I did want her,
No, they won't Redick.
I don't agree with that. I think
Why?
that they wanted Hurley because of the money that they offered him. 7 years, $80 million. I think it was some shit like that. I'm not giving JJ Redick that. You never coached in the NBA before in your life. But that's the starting point because that's the thing that you were going to give the last dude. So now whoever comes in and the interviews for the LA Lakers job, I got to start at 7 years, $80 million. But that was only for Hurley. And Hurley played me so he could get out of town and get more money. Now, whoever comes and talks to me, I got to start at 7 years, $80 million. I don't want to pay JJ Redick that. I don't even know if he's good.
Let me ask you this.
Did we know Ime Udoka was good?
What does that have to do with 7 years, 80 million? He don't
No,
make
no,
that
no,
type.
no.
FIFO, he don't
That-
make that
that's-
type of money.
I'm not talking to money.
FIFO, he don't make that type of money.
Spike, I'm not talking to money. I'm talking.
That's
Wait,
what it's
Spike.
about, though.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
Because now if I'm the Lakers, I got shit on my face because I offered this dude this money. He didn't take the job. And the next coach to
not
come in
about
here and
that.
talk to
Well,
me, I don't know what
it's
their
not-
experience
it's not
is.
about
I
that.
got to give them that
You
money.
know what their experience is.
I can tell you that the Lakers don't care about shit
Thank
on
you.
their face.
They don't pay coaches, though.
They-
The Lakers don't pay coaches.
Right.
Which is why Danny Hurley walked away from his
But
job.
this is-
which is
but
why
this
the
is
next
why it's not about money, though, Spike. You're
is
proving the
about
point.
money,
It's not
though.
about money.
It's going
not-
for the
Spike,
coach.
Spike, listen,
FIFO for the
listen,
coach that
listen.
walks in there. It's
Spike,
going to be about money.
Spike, listen. Was it about money with Darvin Ham?
I don't even know what he made.
Was it about money with Frank Vogel?
Again.
Exactly. It's not about money. It's not about money. Spike,
That doesn't make sense though.
how does it not make sense?
When you're saying it's not about money, it's because those guys aren't proven coaches. This is
Frank
the
Vogel's
late-
not a proven coach?
Hell no,
Get the
bro. What are y'all talking about?
okay,
What?
okay.
We're not giving. I'm not breaking the bank for Frank Vogel. That's not going to happen.
But it's not about the money. Frank Vogel was a proven coach. You said proven. Proven that he got to the Eastern Conference Finals. Proven that he got to the finals, right?
Proven to come in here and take a discount because you're coaching the Lakers and we're bigger than you are.
It's not about
Now,
the money, Spike.
I've already put the money on the table because I've offered it to this dude from UConn, Dan Hurley. And any coach that comes in here wants to start the negotiations at the place that I had it at with him that he turned down. And that's not beneficial for the Lakers. Like, they're not going to get the coach that's worth the money, and they got to pay the money now.
Let me
it's
ask you
dumb.
this. What's the last Hall of Fame coach that they had? Yeah, go back. He's very famous.
With Pat Riley?
Nah.
Who?
After him? Phil Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
That's the last. Do you know how long ago Phil Jackson coached that team, bro? Dennis Rodman was still in the league. Right. Dennis Rodman is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
That just says the time difference
Right.
of where they were, where they are now. It's not about the money.
It
It's-
is, though, FIFO.
Spike,
They're notoriously famous for underpaying their coaches.
Spike, you know what this is about? The Laker job is about managing egos all across the board. It's about managing Jeannie Buss and the family situation. It's about managing the superstars or lack thereof, depending on where they are. The head coach for the Lakers has to be able to manage all of those things. That's the reason why you look at their track record of hiring coaches. They get coaches on the cheap, first-time head coaches. Luke Walton was a first-time head coach, wasn't he? They still paying that man. Byron Scott. What's his name?
Ham?
Darvin Ham, right? Like, at the end of the day, Spike, when I look at this coaching job, it's still prestigious because you know why? You're going to get on prime time. The most out of anybody.
Don't matter if you're not winning, bro.
No, it does matter because it spotlights you. It allows people to put a microscope as to what you're doing. And we can deduce this is a coaching issue or this is a player personnel issue. And if you're a good coach, guess what? It's not going to hurt you. It's only going to help you. Even if you don't win, you're going to be able to go on. Did Frank Vogel not go and go to another championship contender, Ken? Did he not?
Where he coach at now?
Phoenix.
Do we?
Yeah.
He didn't just get fired.
Well, he might have, but shit. But
That's what I'm
but what I'm
saying,
saying, he landed a job though. Lakers didn't hurt him. You know who was gonna hurt? Darvin Ham.
Yeah, because he went to be an assistant with the Bucks. I think he went back to his old job.
I think this is a shit stain on the Lakers organization, bro.
Why?
Because you can't. I'm the Lakers. If I go after a coach, I need to be able to, like, he needs to come coach for me. I can't, like what you were saying earlier in the conversation about him going back to UConn. You shouldn't pick UConn over the Lakers, but he did. It's not because I didn't offer him enough money. It's not because any of these other things as far as talent. It's the prestige. It's not there anymore. I can go to UConn and win a third championship, and people are going to look at me, Danny Hurley, as that dude. I don't know what I got to do in LA.
But
I got to coach LeBron for 2 more years. I don't know if we're going to go to the playoffs.
Why is it a stain on LA though?
It's a stain because they couldn't obtain him. Like
But you think he's a hot commodity?
he is.
No, he's not.
Fucking Dan Hurley. Nobody was talking about no goddamn Dan Hurley.
They sure were not.
Dan Hurley.
The Lakers made him a hot commodity.
No, he was a hot commodity because he's won 2 championships at UConn.
Spike.
Like the system that he runs.
Look,
that was the whole reason that they brought him to LA because they
the
wanted
golden
him to run
boy
the system.
in Boston. That's now
Brad
Brad
Stevens.
Stevens. Did he win anything in college?
I don't know, but
No, he didn't.
No.
He was
He
still
didn't.
he was still a hot commodity though.
To who?
He moved up to GM, bro. He runs the
Who?
team now.
He was not a hot commodity. Danny Ainge seeked him out.
Right. Not before he went to the Boston Celtics. You're right. He wasn't a hot commodity, but he is now.
He is not. But Danny
He's
Ainge made him
nobody
that.
like he built the fucking team that you're talking about. That's whooping Dallas ass. He built that team.
Danny Ainge laid the foundation. He didn't build the whole thing.
I
He
don't
didn't
think-
build the whole thing.
Yeah, and I don't think, man, bro, nobody was talking about Dan Hurley. I can promise
That's
you
not
that.
true.
That is true.
Where?
Dan
Where,
Hurley was
Spike?
the biggest name in coaching, y'all.
I'm talking about
What are we
coming
talking
to the.
about?
I'm talking about coming to the NBA to coach, Spike. No NBA team, very few, and if they were, it was kept quiet. But I have seen very little headlines or insiders talking about people trying to NBA teams trying to go get Dan Hurley.
Any team that could have got Dan Hurley would have took him.
Shit.
I'll say that.
How many teams have coaching vacancies right now? It's more than 5. Typically more than 5.
What good team?
Huh?
What good team has a coaching vacancy?
Either way
Y'all
it
are calling
go,
the Lakers a good team.
either way it go, Dan Hurley, who's only known for winning 2 games at UConn, in men's
2 national championships
in a
back
sport
to back.
nobody even fucking watches anymore.
It don't matter.
It does matter.
The Lakers went after him. Y'all are saying that
Because they fell in love with him. But Ty Lue turned him down. We all know who Ty Lue is.
because they couldn't pay him.
and,
They wouldn't pay him.
and they wouldn't pay Dan, and they wouldn't pay this Hurley guy. And Monty Williams
that
turned him
is
down.
the shit stain that I'm
And
talking about.
but they recovered from Ty and they recovered from Monty, and they damn sure gonna recover from Dan, because who gives a fuck about Dan Hurley, bro?
People give a fuck
He gonna go
about-
back to UConn and probably win a
And
third
win-
championship
Exactly.
in front of very few people watching.
I don't know if in front of very few people watching. He's going to be the darling of college basketball. And then next year, when the Cavs
All
need a
right.
coach, when the Mavericks need a coach,
Have fun and
when the
enjoy watching
Pacers need a
UConn. The only
coach,
people
they're
that
going to
care-
call Dan Hurley.
Bruh.
They're going to call him. He's going to be the number 1 name on the list. And yeah, that may have something to do with the Lakers recruiting him as well. But he's going to be the name on the list when people need a coach now.
All right, cool. Anyway, super chats here. Kev Timothy, Spike, why do teams throw 2 to 3 bodies at Tatum every possession but not defend Jalen that way?
The Jalen can't even go left.
I thought it looked like he's improved a little bit, doesn't it?
Yes, his left hand has been.
We need to watch the game together.
I watched 2 games, bro.
We need to watch the game together.
Wait, so you mean to tell me every time he gets the ball on this side of the court in his left hand, he's been
I'm saying-
attacking on the left
what I'm
hand?
saying-
What in that game, in those first 2 games, do I need to see?
Ken, in that second game, primarily, especially in the second half, there were 2 or 3 possessions back to back to back that he caught the ball on the right-hand side, went to make a drive left, and fumbled the ball. He either stopped and then picked up and tried to shoot or pass. The man's left hand is atrocious. I still look. I understand
He's
why
improved his left hand. He's improved his
we need to
left
watch the
hand a
game
lot.
together so I can point it out to y'all.
All right, man. Okay. I could have swore.
It's still struggle.
Looked like he was getting where he needed to go to me. Spike, how did Ant affect the game more when they lost and Boston has won? Oh, bro, you just
What does that mean? I don't even know what that question. I don't
That
understand.
means
I don't understand
what
he's
did Anthony Edwards affect in that game?
Tatum got more help.
But what did
He affected everything in that game. He just didn't have the help.
he didn't.
Bro,
He didn't affect
if-
assists.
if
He didn't
that
affect
nigga-
defense. He didn't affect
FIFO,
rebounding.
we
He
sit
didn't
here-
affect nothing.
FIFO, we said it. If there was anyone on his team besides Cat, then they would have been better off.
My thing is, no,
He
you
was-
said that.
Yeah,
That's what
you-
you said.
that's you, bro.
We didn't say that. You said that. My thing is this. If Ant Edwards cannot score, what else can he do to help the team win? But what else did he do?
Listen, man, if Ed Edwards played for the Celtics, they would have won 2 championships by now.
You
Swap Ant Edwards and Tatum out, and they would have 2 rings.
Absolutely
Stop
not.
pulling
They
the
would have
Ken.
2 rings by
Stop
now.
pulling the Ken and answer the direct question.
By now. They would have 2 rings by now.
What did
FIFO.
Anthony Edwards do outside of scoring to affect winning basketball?
He took the pressure off of players like Ant and Gobert and whoever the rest of them sorry ass niggas that didn't show up was. I'm gonna come
How?
out here.
In what way?
I'm gonna come out here. I'm gonna give you 30 points. Now y'all niggas.
But did he do that against Dallas?
Yeah.
When?
He did it the
what
last
games?
couple games.
He did it in game.
He did everything he
4,
could, bro.
He did it in maybe game 3 and 4, maybe. But he was ass in game 1. I think he was a little bit better in game 2.
He was ass in game 1, but he did everything he could with the help that he had.
Nah, it's not everything he could. You know why?
Ant
Because
was- if
you,
Ant
you
was
know
playing
why?
for Boston,
You know
they
why?
would have 2 rings.
Because Jason Tatum's rebounding went up +2 and his assists went up like what 3 or 4.
If Ant was playing
But
for
like
Boston,
2.
they would have 2 rings.
Right
now.
All right, Spike.
Right now.
All right, Spike.
All right, man. Kev Thimothy, Jalen, why did Chelsea or Gray make the team when she's been injured all season?
Yeah, Jalen.
Well, because Chelsea Gray is better than Caitlin Clark. You wanted to answer? That's the truth. And when she gets back, the Aces will be the #1 team in the NBA. All right, there go your answer.
She played for the Aces.
Yeah, she do.
So there's 6 players on the team to play for the Aces out of 12.
It's 4 players, bro. You keep saying 6.
Last one, I'm the cat. Spike, let me know what you be drinking before you get on here and spit that BS asking for a friend.
Bruh.
Truth juice. Go grab it at your local store.
I guess so. Anyway, man, that has been the show. An eventful one.
Fun.
Definitely. So, I know I said we were going to do a post game on after the NBA game tomorrow. I don't know if that's going to be the case because we're recording Dead and Hip Hop tomorrow. So I will not be able to watch the game. You know it's coming on 8:30. But yeah, I'll end up missing probably the first half. So so I doubt there'll be a game post game show. Unless Shelton didn't want to do it, I could set it up and but we'll see. But Friday, definitely
I'll be there Friday.
be on there Friday. So it might be over, Spike.
Yeah, that might be the last
It might
game.
be over. But we'll see. Or it might be coming back too.
Ken, you got some super chats in here.
Oh wait, did I miss one?
You in 6.
Damn.
Oh, 5. I got you.
Oh shit, why are those just okay, appreciate it. Kev Thimothy, Kyrie has been consistently bad to average in playoff runs since he left LeBron.
That's not true.
And
He was good in the last series, right?
South
had a
Star
really
Trill
good-
9-2. Kyrie has been inconsistent this whole playoffs. I've been trying to tell y'all that shit.
So where are all the apologies and stuff that generated? Where are those coming from? Like
That came from Minnesota versus Dallas. And it's because Anthony Edwards ran his mouth.
and said he wanted to check Kyrie.
Yes. Does Jason Tatum break out in game 3?
No,
I think he do.
he gonna give you 16 points again, Ken.
Hell no.
He gonna give you 16
No
points
way.
again.
It's not. That's not
And he
gonna
gonna give you
happen.
16 points in game.
That's not gonna happen.
That's what's gonna happen.
I'm fine with the 16 points as long as he's doing everything else on the court.
That's crazy. That's crazy, people.
Spike,
His team is
I
good.
thought our community stopped doing crack.
Woo!
I want to know what that comment is attributed to. Like, what are you talking
We
about?
can't say that about Hunter Biden.
Nah, Hunter
He definitely stopped doing
definitely
crack.
got found guilty today for doing
Crack cocaine, bro. Who's finals MVP for y'all after the last 2 games?
Oh, Jalen.
Jalen Brown.
Yeah, Jalen Brown.
Or either your man's.
Who? Drew?
Yeah.
Nah.
Drew could get it. Like
He only had one good game.
like Iggy got it.
It shifted to Drew so fast after that game.
Yeah, like, he's
it
only
was
had one
crazy
good
to me,
game.
but that's how it goes.
Jalen has been the most consistent on both sides of the ball.
I agree with that.
Jalen Brown is the Finals MVP as of right now after 2 games, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm still with Jalen Brown. I know Drew Holiday had a great game, but he was set up for at least 12 of those points. But
Well, let's see if he has 3 more exceptional games.
Yeah,
you
Drew
know?
did what
like
he-
he could take the Finals MVP. Especially when you look at the Kyrie Irving numbers and stuff like that, and that's Drew's main matchup. And if he can score at the same clip he had in the second game throughout the rest of the series, then yes, he has a case for it. But after 1 game, nah. Like, to me, Jalen Brown was the most consistent player throughout this whole playoff run. So
yeah,
far.
and he hit the wasn't a clinching layup, but it was enough to quiet the noise. And as they said in the chat, he was going left, FIFO.
It's struggle. It's struggle city when he go left.
What else?
That's it.
All right. Good looking out. Appreciate that. All right, man. Well, that's it. As I mentioned earlier, we'll keep covering the finals. Hopefully Friday won't be our last game, but we'll see. But nevertheless, we thank you guys for joining us. We'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
Peace.